Hello, and welcome to Middle-earth. I'm not doing a very good Gandalf. Hello, and welcome to a very dressed-up Halloween-y episode of HighRollers, the weekly D&D show here on the Yogscast Twitch. How are you all doing today? I am your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Holmes, also known as Gandalf the Grey. Hello, and joining me on this epic adventure, we have Jessie from Team Rocket, also known as Katie. Wave!
Waving! You can't see because of peripheral vision.
Peripheral vision. We also have Deadpool, also known as Matt, even though he's got a mask on.
Hello!
We have a Ghostbuster, OC Do Not Steal, Kim, and James from Pokemon, who is also Chris Trott. Do the voice.
Ooh!
There we go. That's that out of the way. Right.
Can we take these off now? Because it's really hot.
No, you have to keep them on for a bit longer. Thank you very much for joining us. A couple of quick things before we crack on with today's game. Big thank you to everybody that I got to see yesterday at MCM. We're very sorry that everyone couldn't be there, but I'm glad I got to see some of you. So thank you very much to everybody who stopped by with books and stuff, and somebody gave me some cool little illustrated D&D books and stuff like that. It was very sweet. Thank you very much.
Did Avril give you a jar of...
No, she forgot it. So she didn't give that to me. I'm sorry, but I did meet her and she was very lovely.
Swear to God,
it was lovely to meet you, Avril.
She actually tore it up in front of you.
Yeah, she smashed it on the ground and it went
fair.
everywhere.
That's fair.
That's fair. So no, thank you everybody that came over to that, and thank you to all the Critical Role guys from the Critical Role meet that came over and let us kind of crash your meet to kind of meet up with everybody. That was very sweet. Obviously we're all dressed up in city outfits. These probably won't be staying on very long because it is very warm. And I am mega tired because I did come back from MCM today, so if I word fumble, it's going to be hilarious. Right, recap for everybody and Kim, who wasn't here last week, so you get to have a recap as well. In terms of our story, the players made their way back from the island northwest of Talisval, where Ralmar had helped them overcome the curse, or the bond between Cam Buckland and Dimitriv. With some very clever player ingenuity from Cam and Mina, who managed to come up with a very clever idea around that. And you guys made your way back from the island, and you stopped by a small fishing village that you wanted to explore. And you discovered there that there was a bit of a local problem in that all the sailors had buggered off with loads of mermaids, and so you kind of helped the town go and get those back. But in doing so, you left it undefended. And some of the Burning King's men, a bandit who has been roaming around the northern side of the country, causing loads of problems, calling himself the Burning King, sent his men to raid it and gather weapons and materials and gold and all that kind of stuff. You put a stop to that with a very epic battle between Trelamar and a hobgoblin on top of a griffin in midair. Which involved a kind of rapid descent, which you managed to flip him on his back and have him take most of the blow. It was good.
Sounds cool.
It was very epic. It was a very epic fight. Yep. Juto kind of just beat stuff up and looks after Cam Buckland.
What? You've lost your camera.
We've lost the camera. It's probably plugged in or plugged short-circuited or something.
It's back.
It's alright, Steve's fixing it. Fix it, Steve. You can do it. So that happened. You made your way back from the island and the fishing village after you helped them sort things out, with Cam Buckland being very generous and giving them lots of money to help them rebuild.
Say what?
Yeah, I know, he was very generous man.
Yeah, he gave away 400 gold.
And
didn't you take some back though?
Didn't we?
He wanted to take some back, but they kind of guilted him into not giving it back. Yes. Made your way back to Talisval, where you discovered that security around the city has become increasingly tighter. As you listened in on a council meeting later on, you found that the Broken Sky had been kind of terrorising and doing more acts of violence and aggression against the city. And so, not quite a curfew, but stricter gate patrols and stuff like that has all been implemented. And there is talk of possibly a curfew as well.
Grounded.
In better news, the party got to meet Elora's family. Her father, Alphadon, and her mother, Eletha, were there to meet with an emissary of the Winter Spire. The Duke of Winter sent his son, Nalistri, to meet with them and kind of provided a formal invitation to join them in the North Country, in the Troubled Lands, where the Spire has emerged. And that is pretty much where we left things off. Things between Elora and Nalistri are frosty, to say the least. I was quite pleased with that one. Elora's dad is amazing, and he had a fight with Korak, and it was glorious. Korak beat him quite easily, but hello. question?
How did Mina leave us?
So I was getting to that. So Mina, after revealing to Korak and some of the council members that she has knowledge of the Burning King, has been tasked or kind of given the job of working with a task force, a special task force of the army or like the militia, to kind of basically investigate, find out what's going on, and then come back with more information so that you can deal with it later on, including one Lieutenant Barris. So she's off. She's off with the task force, assisting them. Yep.
Did her and Juto hug when they left?
Yes, I believe I did have that happen.
Sweet.
That was a goodbye from me.
There was a
She
goodbye
said
from
goodbye
everybody.
to
It was like everybody had like a
It's gonna
goodbye.
be a special.
Oh God, this wig. Oh, it's murder. This beard is so itchy. Right, so there you go. That was the recap. That's for all of you back home and for Kim as well, who wasn't there. I have given some Kim. I was talking to Kim via Twitter DMs while she was away about certain Mr. Crownrent and his feelings on
that
certain
was fun.
things. That was
I
fun.
was like, can Juto just go have a spa break?
No.
You know, just like have a manicure,
Nope.
like some massages, nice little hot
She's
soap.
too busy plotting. Crown Rand's too busy plotting how to kill my entire family.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
You don't know.
I know
Nobody
that.
knows.
You don't.
And so things ended with you all heading back to your rooms to retire.
Pretty drunk, right?
Yes,
You passed out.
you were very drunk, as
Again?
was a few other people.
Oh, yeah, you
I
carried
carried him. I carried
carried
him
him
to
to
bed.
bed.
Yeah, Trelemar carried you to bed.
Over the threshold.
You wake up with
Yeah.
Trelemar next to you.
By
No, you don't
smacking
know.
his head off of everything on the way.
Just, yeah, and like a proper sort of slapstick, like, oops, oops, bonk, bonk,
Juto is
bonk.
pleased.
With Commander Paler, Shalana's other half, also being very drunk and also hitting Cam as they left,
Why not?
Yeah.
kind of punching him.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty
And
much
you
where all
were
the
as
things.
well.
I'm taking this beard fully off because, oh my god, it is so itchy. Oh,
Cute.
No, you just look like a 60s old
Yeah.
Hey man, it's hippie DM time.
man. What's he small, Toby?
That was very Rick as well there, that voice. Right, so you guys wake up in the morning, and you wake up in your suite. It is as normal, food is provided, as has been. In Champion's Hold, the name of the base of operations for the Council and the Champion's forces. And yeah, you basically awake. You know that an Elistri has said he is leaving in the morning to head up north. Your mother and father, along with Queen Shalana and Commander Paler, will be joining. And that is pretty much what you know. Would you like to do anything, or are you just going to head and make your way down there?
I'm going to be very hungover.
Elora's really excited to go and see her parents again, so she's just going to go nuts and wake everyone up by knocking on their doors. Wake up!
Just hear, like,
Time to go!
like
We
really
gotta
early. Cam is super hungover.
No.
Come on, get up!
No, two
Yep.
2 hours. 2 hours.
No, we don't have 2
I'll
hours.
be
We have to go.
Fresh.
No, we have to go.
I'll throw up violently.
It just throws up. It's horrid. It's rancid.
Yeah. Just acid.
Multicolored as well. Like
Yeah,
you were
it's
drinking
weird.
all these weird drinks.
Yeah, it was.
Hard spirits just everywhere.
I could give him a glass of water and then just leave him.
I'd down
and
it
wake everyone
and
else
then
up.
throw up into the cup.
Ugh.
Give it back.
I'm not there. I have walked
I
away
just
from
drop
you.
it on the floor.
Oh my god.
Smash.
Help me.
So the two of you just hear, "Help me!" Blah, coming from Cam's room. You hear Laura. No.
We have to go. Time to go. We have to go. Wake up. Why is no one as excited
Matt,
to
you
go?
should
We're
probably
going
really
on a
take off the
journey.
mask at this point.
No, I think the
view-
mask is really showing his emotion.
No, I think the viewers do need to see Matt's face at some point.
It's not actually Matt under there.
Dun dun dun! There
It's
he
Cat.
is.
Oh wait, no.
You're not happy about that.
Hello.
Hello.
You wanted to be dead.
Oh my god, I can breathe.
I know, it's nice. Isn't
It's
it?
like viewing the world in HD. Oh my god.
It's not great.
So yeah, so you guys, you emerge in the morning. Alora's busy waking you up. Eventually, you kind of, you either leave them or you can just continue banging on their door. But eventually, you kind of make your way. There are preparations being made. There are servants packing bags, various like aides who are kind of preparing foods and rations and things for you on your trip. It does not look like your parents have brought any guards. Neither have Commander Shayla or Queen
Shayla.
Shalana or Command. I told you I was tired, or Commander Paler. They've not brought any specific guards with them. Nalise Street does have his two bodyguards. You didn't learn the names, but he does. He has a male and female bodyguard with him, as well as a snow owl which perches on his shoulder.
What's this dude's name again?
Nalistri, and he is the son of Silandris Frostwalker. the Duke of Winter.
It's spelled N.
Got to get that in Kim's notes. Oh, have you all missed Kim's notes? I have.
They are detailed.
Detailed, won't let me
There's a
forget or
small
change
sketch.
anything again.
C-O-C-K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nalistri Frostwalker is his full name, and he is son. One thing that Elora picked up on was that there is definitely some sort of
He hates me.
upset. He definitely doesn't seem to like Elora, and
And I do not like him.
yes, you all have kind of picked up on that. There is definitely a very frosty atmosphere between the two of them. There is tension.
Puns.
I know, right?
I'm
Ice
gonna
cold.
crawl.
Over the sick, you get all on your elbows.
Oh,
and
I'm sobbing from how hungover I am, and I'm crawling down the stairs like a snake.
Leaving a little slimy puke trail.
Yeah.
Oh.
Eventually, you pass like guards who are just looking at you very oddly, just like raising eyebrows, like, "Are you all right?
No.
All right?" And they just leave you to it. They kind of see that you're obviously just hungover and sick.
I reach whatever place I need to get to, then just.
You kind of
flop
just
on-
get to like the main entrance to Champion's Hold, and you can see them like loading up like saddlebags and horse packs and stuff like
I'm
that.
gonna go near the packs and just
Cool.
roll onto my back and hope that they just pack me.
They don't pack you, but they do seem to like people do just kind of like.
I put my
lead you
arms
to
up.
it. What?
I do
Who
it
are
like
you?
this, so I'm like a handle. Pick me up, please.
What?
I need to go
So,
in the
Who
car.
are you? What are you doing?
Cam Buckland, and I need.
Oh, you're part of this party. Would you like us to bring your horse?
No, pick me up.
No, that is not happening, sir.
Put
I'm
me
sorry.
on the horse.
No, we can't do that. You have to get up on your own.
Why?
We can sort of help you on it, but you have to
I've
get
got
up.
such a
Can
long
sort
journey
it
ahead.
I am going to come up behind Cam.
Okay, yeah, Cam
And
hasn't seen you.
Tell them.
Just like try and just like slouch him over, like
That's right.
stomach first.
Over a horse.
Over a horse,
Like
yeah.
so, you kind of like give me a strength check just to see how well you see. You know, he's not a light lad.
It is
Dead.
way
6!
down.
So you kind of like you feel Chelmar beginning to pick you up and go to kind of hoist you.
Thanks, buddy.
But then you realise, oh, he's actually with all the armour and equipment, he's a lot heavier than you thought, and you just drop him. You land belly first on the ground, puke up a bit more perhaps,
yeah,
like
just dribble it.
bleh.
Lay
You
off
just
the
kind of-
pies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Is there any water nearby?
Yes. There's like you can easily like fetch somebody and they'll bring you like pitchers of like water, glass pitchers of
Is
water.
there like
They assume it's for the
buckets?
journey.
Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah, there's like outside, like you can find a stable and there's like water for like cleaning horses and stuff like that.
Can I take that and dump a bucket over Cam?
Yeah, you kind of walk in and you just get. That does help. It's horrible.
Why?
But at the
Because
same
you
time,
smell.
No, I don't.
it does somewhat help as well.
All right,
you feel
I'll
yourself beginning to wake
Shake
up.
it off. I stand.
As you're doing that, still a little bit pulled sick on the ground. Queen Shalana and Commander Pala make their way down, looking very regal and elegant as always. Kind of riding outfits, not dressed for court or anything like that. Tight trousers, bodice with like various belts and pouches. Dressed for travelling, so long cloaks as well, kind of emblazoned with the symbol of the Autumn Spire. And they make their way down hand in hand. They just laugh at you. There is a bout of girlish giggling as they kind of pass you.
I wipe my mouth to vomit
Yeah,
and do a
fancy bow.
fancy bow.
Camulus.
Camulus
As they
surrounded
pass.
in water
Yeah.
and vomit.
Puke.
Just soaking wet.
Yeah, they just nod to you and you just look at Queen Shalana's like Camulus and passes.
Fun night.
Yes. Commander is also like, she's dressed well, but she's also like holding her head and kind of like, yeah, too much noise, please stop.
Would you like a bucket of water as well?
No, I'm alright, thank you, Miss Juto, I'll be fine. I can hold my alcohol better than some. And she looks at Cam, and then she carries on. And eventually, your parents also make their way down, accompanied by Nalistri, who's walking with them. And he seems to be conversing with them. You kind of don't really hear the detail of the conversation. His owl flies off of his shoulder and then kind of lands just by the doorway, where you can see that there is 8 horses. But not one for Nalistri. It seems that there's one for everybody else, but not for him. But it kind of just lands on the ground, and you can see it like bobbing its little head, turning around, looking at everybody, whoo, as it like just looks around. It's pure white. It looks very... There's something off about it. You, with your knowledge of nature and beasts, that is not a natural owl. That is not a real owl. There is some sort of magical nature to it.
Can someone stop the hooting? Stop it. Stop. I walk up to him and stop it. My finger right in his face.
It's just its head rotates like completely around.
Stop it.
Woo.
I walk away. Back to the cart. Huff.
There is no car, there is only horses.
On my horse, so I get to horse and get on.
Okay, so you kind of mount up, and you can see that Queen Shalana and Commander Pedro have also mounted up. They kind of gesture to the rest of them.
Go to my parents. I want to make a point of saying good morning to Nalistri.
He bows his head, he's like, good morning. But it's very kind of just, good morning. It's very formal. Your mother and father are just like, oh, good morning, dear. You know, your father's just like, excellent night. How's your friend faring? And he kind of looks over and he's like, oh, I see.
I'm just struggling to get onto the horse.
Just trying to desperately pull yourself up. You can give me an animal handling check, actually.
Oh, fuck. Alright.
I've got a great animal.
7.
7. The horse does not like you. Like, your desperate attempts to try and get up on this horse is
Come on, buddy.
And he's just like,
work with me here.
and just like pushes away, and it constantly. Every time you go to get on it, it moves a bit, and you're like, and you stumble a little bit more.
Push off, spin around, just. This horse is broken. I'm walking somewhere else. I need another horse.
Okay, like there's other horses.
I'm gonna try another horse.
Okay, you try and get on that one, yeah. Give me an animal handling check.
9.
This horse doesn't like you either.
What's wrong with your horses?
You haven't got like speak with animals naturally, do you? You just like you have to
Not
cast
naturally,
it.
no.
Yeah. Your mother does laugh though. She just kind of like titters to herself, and she's just like, your human friend isn't very good with animals, is he? She kind of like walks Eletha, who's this kind of. She looks. She does have a lot of familial traits with Allura, but she's kind of slightly greying hair, like silver streaks in it rather than white. Kind of little bit of wrinkles around the eyes and mouth, but otherwise a very regal, elven beauty kind of thing. And she walks past you and she whispers something in the horse's ear, and then it kind of like, and it kind of goes down to help you get on a bit easier.
I was gonna do that.
I'm sure. Yes.
It's good to see you, Moon Queenie.
You may call me Lady Eletha.
Lady Eletha. Moon
You are
Queen.
Cam or Camulus? I can't quite tell.
You may call me Cam.
Excellent. Thank
My
you.
queen.
No, let's not do that. Althean comes up behind you. He's like, you may call me Lord Majesty, however.
Lord
My wife
Majesty?
Yes, exactly, yes. My wife is very modest. But you may call me Lord Majesty, King
Yeah.
Altheon.
True honor, Lord Majesty, King Altheon.
Thank you, good, excellent, Camulus.
Trying to make the horse balance.
You're a good service to your kind, you know. Humans sometimes not very respectful, but you, I like you.
That's the kind of respect I deserve.
Exactly.
I don't get enough of it around here. With
He
these
just laughs and moves up to a horse, and you can see that your parents have actually brought their horses from home. You actually remember sort of like them growing up and things like that. Very aged but very well trained beasts that they brought with them. They turn to the rest of you, and Nalistri actually addresses. He's like, "Thank you all for coming this morning. We do have quite a bit of distance to make. The journey to the Winter Spire will take approximately 9 days. There is plenty of food and rations packed away, but we will be travelling through some dangerous country. I will have to make a brief stop around the 3rd day. There is some business that I must attend in a local village. But apart from that, we will be travelling continuously. Horses have been provided by the city. If you require anything else, please let me know. Otherwise, we should get going." Yes, human.
Is this Nalistri?
Yes. And you can see him now. He's, to describe him, he's very thin for an elf. Like, even as an elf, he seems... There's not any athleticism to him. He's very skinny. He has black hair kind of all pushed back, quite long but pushed back. He has a big widow's peak, very kind of pointed, angular features. But there's also his eyes are a very deep green, which is kind of striking because he wears mainly blues and greys and whites, but he has these very striking green eyes. And yeah, he just has this pushback hair. He's very frail. You can see a book kind of attached to like a leather case on his belt, as well as things like scroll cases and component pouches and stuff like that. He's very clearly an arcane spellcaster. Like, especially for you that's travelled around, you know your way around. Trelemar knows his arcane spell components. He is definitely some sort of wizard or sorcerer or warlock or something like that.
Bit of a weirdo.
Yeah, and he's very frail, and you can see when he looks at you or when he looks at Juto, there is almost like he just doesn't react. He doesn't care if you're different races or whatever. He just treats you as that. However, whenever he glances at Alora, you can just see that twinge in his eye or just that kind of narrowing of his features.
Have we picked up on that?
Yeah, by this point, Elora kind of picked up on it early, but by now the rest of you are starting to get, this guy has a problem with Elora. You don't know what it is, but he's very clearly, there is some beef that he isn't displaying in any other way. He's not being aggressive towards her or anything like that, but just, especially when you're near your parents, whenever Elora is around her family, whenever her mother and her father and that are communicating, you just see this narrowing of the eyes, or he turns away, he busies himself with something. You can see he's quite fidgety. He plays with various charms or pouches. He's always rearranging them and things like that. He's got a nervousness about him that he kind of plays around with.
Alright.
I'm going to put on my mask and read his mind.
Oh, snap!
Finally!
So, the silver mask...
I used it the
He
other
did
day
it
as well.
last time.
Oh, okay.
So the silver mask blends over your features. You kind of hear a few sort of whoa, kind of gasps of astonishment from the group. And he meets your eyes, actually, and as you start doing it. And yeah, you can read his surface thoughts. And his surface thoughts currently is, that's an unusual device. You can see he's thinking about your mask. He's like, a very unusual item. I can sense that's quite powerful. I wonder where this dark elf has acquired it. Elora has very powerful friends. And then you can
delve deeper?
Okay, so when you delve deeper, he gets to make a saving throw. Which is a... Okay. I've got to find his sheet. So have you got the stats for the master?
I do.
What is the DC saving throw?
13.
He passes just. And as soon as he does, now you can still read his surface thoughts, but you can sense that as you go to probe his mind deeper, he is like, what's going on? You, Warlock. And he just descends on you. He's like, you are trying to read my mind. Do not think I'm some foolish amateur. I know the arcane studies well. Stay out of my business. And you just hear that in your head, and he just glares at you, and you can just, and he adds an or else, and you can just see ice beginning to crackle around one finger, and he just gives you kind of a cold look.
I do the same, but you can't see my eyes. So
no, he's just
work.
and his surface thoughts are again, it's just I know you can hear this. I'm not an enemy, but my business is mine. Stay out. And you can just see him get very guarded, and he looks around at the rest of you. He's like, we need to leave now.
Nice tree.
Is anyone from Palace Val around, Korak or?
Not Korak is there. He's saying goodbye to Alpheon currently, and he's going to talk to Juto in a moment.
Okay.
But yeah, there are a few guards and things like that, but nothing Korak's the only
Specifically,
major.
someone that's not a guard. I want to go to Korak and be like, there was that dragon that we took care of.
Yes.
It is still in a stable.
At this point, your father is like, a dragon? What?
Say what?
Moonbeam, have you killed a dragon?
Yeah, I used lightning. It was really fun.
And he looks at Korak. He's like, you're not offended, are you? Korak's like, no, Alpheon, it was a chromatic dragon. It is fine. I will do what I can to preserve it, but I can't make any promises, Lady Elora. It may very much become a matter of... The public may have already gotten to it, I don't know, but we'll see if we can do something with it.
Just in case you could remove it from...
I'll dispatch a few men to try and find somewhere to store it or something. It's probably... How long has it been there?
I don't know. We had to deal with the whole Dmitriev
It's been about
thing.
2-3 days.
It's just more the fact... If you can use it, great. But we are not...
See what we can do. I do have some mages who may be able to distill something from its blood or something like that, but craft some components. Scales are normally parts of spells, I imagine, but alright, yes, we'll deal with that at somewhat.
Just before the public might come across it.
Yes, that's a very wise idea, Lady Elora. Yes, you're quite right. As you say that, you were talking to Lily Stream?
Yep.
You can still read his mind. You can still read his surface thoughts, but it only lasts about an hour. So you kind of reading, but he's being very guarded now, and his thoughts, he focuses on whatever.
I'm not thinking.
Or he just goes like, he only thinks about Cam, like he's not letting you pick up on any subconscious stuff. What is it, human?
You are in the company of kings, queens, princesses, etc. on a very important mission to the destination. Why
you understand I am also royalty in Elven.
That's cool. Why are you stopping us all?
You just hear this fucking idiot. He's just like, who is this fool, basically?
Surely the priority is to go there and not divert to this little village that you're going to be stopping at. How long are you going to be holding us up for?
It is on the way. I have some business to take care of. It won't take long.
How long is not long?
He just looks at you and he just goes, long enough for it not to be a problem.
Have you okayed it with the king? The
Yes.
Majesty King?
He looks over and he's like, I have already spoken with Altheon. He is fine for me to make any... Althedon. I keep thinking of Altheon because I think it's like a bad guy in Destiny or something. Althedon. Yes, I have spoken with Althedon. He is aware that I must make stops, but he is polite enough not to bury his nose into other people's business.
Alright, I'll stay frosty.
And then he kind of, as you say that, there's a crack of a smile, and he snaps his fingers, and from the air forms a horse made of ice. It kind of just...
That's really cool.
And then it begins to move as though it was a completely natural horse.
Holy
Well, I suppose we should get on the way then, shouldn't we? And then he goes to step on it. His owl flies up and lands on his shoulder.
Who's the closest to me from...
At this point, I'd probably say Trelemar, actually.
Think of how cold his balls
I
must
was
be.
thinking the exact same thing. I was going to say the same thing to you. He's going to have cold
We just
nads.
share a nod.
Icy testicle. You just look at each other like... Well, you could even just message it to him in his mind, couldn't you, to Cam, really? Korak moves up to Juto. Miss Jing, before you leave, I have somewhat of a request, if you may.
Yeah.
Are you just looking up at him like, oh, Korak?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just looking up at him like, Uncle.
Yeah, he's just like, Althedon and Elitha are good friends of mine. I understand that you have looked after Lady Elora for some time. You're quite the warrior. Take care of them. They are allies, as well as Queen Shalana and Commander Pela. They are very important allies of the Dawn Republic. If anything were to happen to them, I do worry what would happen for this country. You will look after them, won't you?
I will do my very best, champion. But
He kind of bows his
only if you look after yourself.
Yes, I would love to come with you. I miss adventuring with Alphadon quite a lot, but with these broken sky attacks, I feel I'm needed here more than ever, so...
A word of
stay.
warning, Korak. I do not trust your counsel.
He looks at you strangely. He's like, I mean, I know that we have had problems, but this new council is... Well, we've investigated as much as possible. We believe that we found all the traitors. Do you have reason to suspect them, or...?
A couple. Nothing I wish to say further at the moment, but do not be complacent.
Very well, I will. And he kind of gives you a nod. It gives you that sort of warriors nod at
Bro
each other of
fist.
respect, yeah, kind of thing.
Secret handshake we made up.
Yeah, and in your... Look, I knew that was going to go. That was falling off my head all the time.
It's Gandalf's strip poker.
Yeah. While you're reading Nalistry's thoughts, because it does persist for a while, what he's fallen into doing is, and it's becoming kind of annoying as you focus on him now, he's reciting magical formulas in his head. He's kind of going over spell gestures and just constantly doing that in his head. It almost feels like he's able to kind of focus on that, but his subconscious is doing other things, like taking care of prepping his horse and stuff like that. And you get the sense that this is actually quite a smart guy who's managed to kind of bring up these defensive mental barriers to kind of keep you a little bit out. You obviously can try again in an hour. You can try and plumb deeper and make him save, but for now he's kind of keeping these walls up by just constantly reciting sort of these weird symbols in his mind and gestures and spoken phrases and things like that.
Can I tell this lot that I've been trying to...
Yeah, well, you can see them all, so you can just mentally send it. Now, they can't speak back, that's the only thing we know. But yeah, you kind of all hear in your mind Trelemar saying what you just basically telling them.
I've tried to probe his mind because there's something not quite right with this chap. But his mental defences are quite powerful, and he did threaten me with icy powers. So I think we need to be careful with this one.
Got it. Got it.
Cam calls out.
I shake my head.
After a few moments, everybody is basically packed up and ready to go. And they kind of... we
we're
good?
back.
We're back?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay, excellent. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of a blip. So the last thing you were saying was you move up to your parents and ask them about why they didn't bring guards. Alphen turns around and he's like, yes, we needed to leave a lot of our forces behind. It seems that the Feywild is growing a bit more dangerous lately. There have been a number of attacks on the Spire from within the Feywild itself. Natural beasts, nothing to be concerned about, but we wanted to make sure we left. Plus, we knew that you'd be here, and you knew that your friends have been some accomplished warriors yourselves, and that you'd look after us, so... Plus, it's not like I can't look after myself these days, Moonbeam, and he's like, I know that scaly bastard might have beaten me, but he's the exception, and he kind of, like, dusts himself off, and you can see your mother kind of lets out a smile, it's like, I think we'll be alright. I can always get us out of somewhere if we need to, so...
Well, I hope so. I just don't entirely trust Nilistri at the moment.
They kind of look at you and they're like, I know that he can be a bit cold, but his father is a little, he's not the kindest elf that you've ever met. Give Nilistri some time. I think that there's possibly just some jealousy there. His father's been a long friend. His father and your father have been friends for a long time. They've known each other since they trained together. I'd be very surprised if he was up to something. And you just kind of get this sense. Nilistri kind of just casts a glance back. Kind of glares eyes and then turns away again and carries on.
When he glares at me, can I just go?
He kind of that makes him just glare even more.
I don't
and then
care.
Just turns away.
I'm being as nice as possible.
How near to the parents are we? Like in the
Currently I have Nilistri's kind of riding you guys, leading you guys up front. Behind him are his two bodyguards. Behind them are Elora's parents, Queen Shalana and Commander Pela and Elora, and then the three of you are basically trotting behind them effectively.
Can I hear like anything the father said?
Yeah, you can hear everything that like Elora's talking about with them. Maybe the only thing you didn't hear is like the kind of hushed things of like, you know, oh, give him some time and stuff like that, because that was kind of more whispered kind of thing.
I'm just going to turn to Cam and be like, the Lord Majesty just called the champion a bastard.
Haha, sweet.
That doesn't seem proper.
That's fine.
I wish to tell him otherwise, but he is a Lord Majesty and I do not know the protocol for this.
Do you want me to tell
Do
him?
I hear her say that?
Yeah.
I think they have been friends for a very long time. That is a nickname that has stuck with him. He doesn't mean it.
So if we are good friends, we call each other bastard.
You can call Cam that.
I call Cam that all the time.
Yeah.
Don't I, bastard?
You do, Trevor. See? Good friends.
Alphadon just looks at you with like a very sort of like grinning kind of look of like he finds it quite amusing.
I kind of want to make sure I try and say it, but where my mum doesn't hear, but my dad does.
Yeah. Like your mum, you're pretty sure your mum did hear, but she kind of pretends not to. Just kind of sideways glance.
Elora, you are a bastard.
I like this demon child. She's quite funny. Is all like Alphadon says. He kind of like looks back at you. He's just like, I can see why that scaly bastard likes you now. And like he's like riding alongside. He just laughs.
You are all bastards.
Yeah, it's a bit of a crack. Give me Laura specifically. Give me a perception check.
You want all of us to?
Nope, because you guys are at the back.
22.
22. You're pretty sure you heard Nilistri laughing alongside, but he kind of stifled it. It was kind of like a, and then like, and like.
I will break you.
And he just carries on.
Can I trot up to the bodyguards and try and just
Yeah,
just casually go past them towards the Lee Street?
Okay, yeah, they kind of start making your way up. As you pass them, you can see they're quite young. They probably are, if they were in human years, they'd be sort of like mid-20s. Are you right there, friend?
Just put it in my lapel.
Okay, sure.
I don't have a lapel though.
These elves, yeah, if they were in human years, they'd be kind of like mid-20s. They look very athletic. One is male, one's female. The lady has blonde hair, tied back in a braid. The male hair has actually very short hair for an elf. It's almost not quite a buzz cut, but very short, cropped. He's got a few scars on his neck and things like that. And they're just keeping very calm. You can see that they keep an eye out though. They're constantly looking around and watching the horizon. Their armor is all made to look like, it's metal, but it's made to look like ice that's kind of all like whoosh, frozen up and is kind of angled away so that blows would deflect off and stuff like that. And they've got swords and shields.
So,
They just go like, sup, the sky.
what's up?
Again, the sky, clouds.
I keep going forward towards the Lily Tree.
You just hear them laughing together, like they kind of just share a laugh as you walk past.
Trot.
Kind of stifling, dry heaving now and again.
You just hear, yes, hello. What's
Nobody-
your name again?
Camp Buckland. Come
yes,
on.
Cam Buckland. Yes.
It's easy.
How can I help you? Do you need something?
It's a long journey. 6 days.
9 days.
9 days.
Yes. My frozen spire is north of the mountains that the humans call the Grasping Peaks. It will take us perhaps 4 or 5 days to reach the mountains, a few more days to pass through those, and then the winter spire is another 2 days up beyond that.
I said quick question before. I've got another one.
Yes.
Are you going to be like this the whole time?
Like what?
Like this?
Like an elf?
Like cold and harsh and...
Well, I'm just trying to get my job done. I've been sent here to do a job. I want to see it through. That's all.
Look at me. I get the job done.
He kind of looks over at you and he kind of like looks you up and down.
Got stains.
What job is that exactly?
I'll just save the
Are
world.
you some sort of travelling minstrel? Is that why you hang out with Alora? Do you sing songs or something?
See, that's a little bit better. You've got some wit. I like it. No, I'm not.
Well, I mean,
It's
one of us
offensive.
has to have some wit.
Good.
Is there
So-
anything else?
Yeah. Your ice horse.
Yes.
If I was to chip off some ice,
Right.
would it hurt it?
No, it is a magical construct.
Because I've got a water skin and the water's gone a bit cool, a bit warm.
He holds out his hand, pass it here.
Sweet.
He holds it, and you just, from his hand, ice kind of falls around the skin. He kind of like just rolls his eyes. There you go.
As I take it,
Yeah.
I lean in. I say, if you come anywhere near Alora with ill intention, I will murder you.
When you say that, he just kind of looks at you and he's just like, if I had any intention towards Princess Alora, I'm sure that many of her friends and family would do unspeakable things to me. You don't need to worry about that.
Me
I
being
have
one
no
of them.
interest in her. And he just turns away and rides forward a bit further.
I just glare
He just doesn't look at you anymore.
and I go back, just drift back towards the bodyguards.
Yeah.
Sup?
It's like, well, still the sky. Is that a human thing? Sup?
Yeah.
What's up?
It's like a, hello, how are you?
Oh, hello. And he turns to the other companion. She's just like, you know, it'd be a lot easier if you just said hello.
Well, that would be boring.
You're Cam, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we've heard about you. We were talking with some of the guards. Do you know what somebody called Dermot?
Yeah, yeah.
He calls
Yeah.
you Little C. He said it stands for a little, and then she points towards your crotch.
I'm gonna go this way.
Bye, Little C.
Bye.
And then as you trot back, they just start laughing again, just like laughing to each other. You can see what looks like it looks like they're passing some sort of bottle between each other as well. Like they'll swig from it and then they pass it back, ride for a bit longer.
Is this
swig.
like solid ice now?
No. It looks like he has literally cooled it. Like it's now refreshingly cold, like plucked from a fresh spring.
Nice.
It's very refreshing, and he's almost seemed to have added like a taste. Like it tastes nicer. It's almost got like a hint of lemon in it now.
Fancy. Nice.
Yeah, you can give me an Arcana check actually if you want.
He's poisoned me. 5.
5. He did
Lemony.
some magic, yeah, lemon. Obviously, some sort of lemon spell. Delicious cold lemon spell.
That's nice.
So that's what he's done. So, unless anybody wishes to do any more little role-playing bits, do you want to do anything?
I can't use my.
It's been
Prepping
I'd say,
powers,
like,
can I?
yeah. I mean, after an hour, you can spend another charge. So you've used one charge on it already for the tech thoughts.
Yeah, go on. I have
so you-
another one.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to try and delve deeper, yes?
So, pardon?
You're going to try and delve deeper.
Yeah.
You got 7 charges.
Mental resistances are
God
still there.
damn it!
Yeah, he's like, he just senses it, and again, you just get this kind of thing of like,
guy's gonna have a
I
bad
told
time."
you, stay out. You're not going to learn anything by trying to get into my mind. Pathetic. Just like he just starts grumbling in his head, just like, of course you'd have some sort of mind-reading bastard. Grumble.
Wow. Are you so grumpy because your testicles are so cold?
I said you sent that. He's just like, and again, now he's like purposely being really annoying, and like he's like almost like having flashing images of like magic in his brain just to try and make you leave him alone. Just like loud noises. He's like imagining the most annoying things he can, just to try and wind you up.
Wow.
So yeah, very petty. That's another charge marked off Le Mask. You've been wearing it for an hour now. I have to roll some dice.
You are now crazy.
Power comes with consequences.
Consequences.
Oh god.
Oh, shit.
You spawn a dragon from your face.
When you roll a percentile dice and one of them is the 90, that's kind of interesting.
Ooh.
You
Don't
are
worry.
now
So,
batshit insane.
would anybody like to do any more chatty stuff?
I'm just going to keep talking to my parents about what's been going on back home.
Catch up
Okay.
with the gods.
Yeah, well,
And-
you basically catch up. So, in terms of what's been going on back home, what they reveal to you is that the Winter Spy is the only spy they've had contact from. They have heard rumours that the Summer Spire may be back, but it may still be in the Feywild and is kind of trying to transition between the two. But there's been all of the spires, Autumn Spire, Moon Spire, have all been under attack from more creatures in the Feywild. Like it's almost like they are drawing the Feywild to them, and natural forces are. From like the stories that you were told is the spires form some sort of defense against the Feywild. They actually hold back what they call the Archfey, who are these kind of very malicious, fickle Fey spirits. Kind of think of like Titania and Oberon from A Midsummer Night's Dream. Very powerful, immortal beings that are very just vain and fickle, and they have countless armies of fairies and centaurs and satyrs to their whims. And they like to try and fuck with the material plane. And the Elven Spires basically form a defense against that. They're there to stop them from overrunning and taking over the material plane. And they just basically, your father's been coordinating a lot of defensive efforts to prevent that from happening. And they just seem to be attacking it more frequently at the moment. He keeps telling you, it's nothing to worry about. We've got it under control. It's more important. That's why it's important that we go to the Winter Spire. We need to make sure Salandris is okay. We need to make sure that they can lend their aid if we need it and stuff like that. So that's kind of what you're kind of been talking about with him. Your mother just basically continues to ask how your druidic studies are going, and you're kind of getting the sense that actually maybe you're kind of at the same level your mother is. Like she's not. You've always seen her as this very powerful druid. She definitely has some more mastery over wild shapes than you do, but in terms of spells and things like that, you're actually kind of on a very similar level to her now. Like your knowledge of the natural world is very balanced out, and she's very proud of you, obviously. But yeah, you kind of get the sense that there's not a lot you could learn from her now. Like it's now about you going and exploring and investigating in your own lives. And yeah, anything from anybody else, or I'm going to jump towards some stuff. Somebody will also have to keep an eye on the time for breaks because my phone is dead.
We good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, with your mask, now you've detected minds. After the second time, what do? Are you going to keep trying to like read his thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. So I need to roll a dice. Oh, that's handy.
You
So,
die.
you are all dead. So, after, I want a different page to that one. Which page do I want?
Dragons are on page 32.
Thank you, Kim. Yes, the ancient red dragon descends from the sky, murdering you all. So, after, I would say, about 6 hours on the road, you've been travelling since early morning. It's kind of approaching sort of very late afternoon. And along the road, you've now travelled out of Talisbal and you are heading northwards. You travel across grassy plains, and you are now you're following a travel road, like a trade road. It's kind of like nothing more than really just a well-worn dirt path. There are occasionally signposts that point off in different directions. You can see things like, as you're heading your way north, on your left, left, you can see the Shard Lake. It's a massive lake that actually goes towards First Light, the ancient capital of the world before the Lightfall, which was all run by mages. It was a magocracy, but it was completely destroyed when the Lightfall happened. Several huge shards basically obliterated the city like meteors hitting, and it's just ruins now. And you can just see on the edge of this lake the ruins of First Light just kind of dotted along the sort of like horizon. But this large lake it's called the Shard Lake because it's almost like a mirror of crystal. It's just perfectly still, and it just at the moment it's all cloudy, so you can't really see anything, but it's just this perfectly still lake. Very serene. You get grassy hills, you see plains, you see a little forest now and then, but generally it's quite quiet and reserved. But as you begin to make your way north, you start to see a few more things. You definitely see the signs of heavy footfall traffic, as if large groups of people have recently travelled along the road. You occasionally see like merchants with broken wagons that you pass, kind of desperately trying to repair them and things like that. And if you ask what happened or if they're okay, they basically tell you that the bandits attacked them, that they've stolen everything from their village, and they're heading to Talisval to try and seek shelter and refuge. Kind of ties in with what you know with what's been happening with the Burning King. About 5-6 o'clock in the evening, as the sun is beginning to set, but it's kind of still orangey and quite pleasant. It's not warm per se; it's breezy, but it's not cold either. It's just kind of very late spring, early summer type of weather. You notice two figures. There is on the hillside in the distance. There is a windmill, and you can see several grain silos kind of connected to it. And you see two hulking figures that must be perhaps 12, 13 feet tall, are pulling the windmill apart, trying to get inside it. And you can hear what sounds like screaming, some sort of male, some sort of human voice screaming from inside the windmill. And you can just see these two figures like trying to rip like the stone and wood off of the windmill itself. You're still on the road at this point. You can probably reach it very quickly on the horses, but you could also just choose to completely bypass it.
I assume you can all see those giant people.
Alphadon looks at you. He's just like, "Yes. What are they? What sorts of creatures?" And Commander Paler turns around. And she's like, "I think those are giants. I don't think I've seen them around in this part of the material plane before. They look like two giants."
I don't think they're patching up the windmill.
No, I think you're right about that, Buckland. The Alphadon and your mother and that like turn around and say like, Alphadon's like, "Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. We need to go and help those people."
What's Nalistri doing?
Nalistri's kind of looking at it, and he turns around. He's like, "If you wish to go and help, we may help. I would rather that we just carry on. We do have a lot of ground to travel, but if Lord Alphadon wishes to help, I will come with you."
We should help.
Very well then. Lord Alphadon, do you wish to lead the way? He's like, "Yes, follow me!" She just pulls a sword, and he just rides off, galloping, charging towards them, basically.
I imagine I've got very bored
Okay.
at this point, so I'm
Yeah, I mean, you've been sitting on a horse for like 6 hours doing
well
it
up
all
for
along.
this shit.
Okay.
I just like try and keep up with them.
Yeah, so the two of you just ride off.
Whooping and hollering.
Yeah, the two, you basically start doing that. Aletha's just like, "I'll come behind. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a lot of help there. My wild shape's a bit rusty. I've been quite worn out from travelling, but I'll try and do what I can." Payless joins you, like she rushes off with Alphadon as well. Shalana kind of following quickly behind. Nalistri and his two bodyguards also make their way up. And then, I'm assuming that you guys all kind of follow as well.
Giants, guys.
Within a few seconds, you're basically quickly at the base of this hill, and you can now see these two lumbering brutes, obesely fat, just body bulging, spilling out of a dirty loincloth. One of them has a massive, looks like half of a trunk of a tree in one hand. The other one has one laying on the ground next to it, and you can see that this figure is just reaching this gluttonous, globulous hand inside a window, and you can just hear like, "I'm trying to get the grain, give it to me." And you can just see him like swirling his hand around. You can hear screaming coming from inside this windmill. And that's basically what happens. And as you gallop up, Alphadon basically leaps off his horse. You can see him stumble a little bit as his age kind of gets with him, and he kind of draws his blade. He's like, "You there! What are you doing, giants?" And they turn around, they're like, "Oh, what's this little man doing? Go away! We're getting food!" It's just like, get your hands off of that! And you can just basically hear him like jabbering off at them, being a very old nobleman style, just like, what are you doing? Hands off! That sort of thing. But the giants just kind of like look at him and they're like, this little one's being really angry. Well, it's just food. We want it. We're taking it. And they don't seem to be really understanding that they shouldn't be taking it.
Gonna hop off the
You
horse.
can give me perception checks, the 4 of you.
Good. 10.
10,
12.
12.
9. Oh no, I've got my mask on, so I've done it. Do I have advantage on perception?
You do, yes. You have the Le Masque.
Ooh, 16 in that case.
16. Trelmar, you notice, burnt into their gluttonous, globulous bodies, is the brand of the Burning King. You've seen it on the bandits that you fought before. And you're basically like, we've been told to get food! Bugger off! And yeah, one of them takes a step towards Alphadon and tries to punt him, basically.
I'm gonna jump off my horse.
And you like start running towards him. Okay. Well, you're running towards him as this happens. 22. So as they go to do that, Alphadon basically brings his hand down, and you can see a magical shield kind of like goes in front of him. But the force of the giant's kick just shatters through the shield and actually punts him. It's 3d8. 2, 7, 11, 16. And yeah, it just kind of sends him flying through the air. He kind of like, you see the shock and surprise on his face as he lands. He lands quite badly, twists his arm, and kind of falls on the ground. I'd like everybody to roll initiative. Da-da-da-da.
Oh, shit. Natural 20.
Well,
Means you can work in the future.
Yeah. I see what's happening.
I see everything.
Right, I need to do quite a few people, so bear with me.
Bearing. I'm thinking, maybe I might leave a dupe outside and go inside to save the people.
how noble. How gallant of you.
God,
Okay,
you really have changed.
NPCs are all going to go at once.
You guys can fight the giants.
I'm gonna go away. Put a wall between me and them.
Okay, Elora initiative.
22.
22. Trelmar.
21.
21. Cam.
Natural 20 with a 24.
24. Holy shit. Juto.
19.
19. Well, Cam Buckland, hero of the century, you see this happen and you instantly leap into action.
Yep,
What would you
jumping
like to
off
do?
my horse, I invoke duplicity.
It kind of splits out from you.
I blow him a kiss and run inside.
Okay. He takes like a defensive stance, like
I
you see him,
run
like,
through him
jabbering.
to try and confuse the guard.
Yeah, like
giants.
the giants are like, oh, he's split into two. What? And they just seem very dumb. And yeah, you basically the only thing you need to do is to get inside. You'll need to basically go under like one of their legs. Just give me an acrobatics check as you kind of like running through.
Uh-oh. 5.
5.
Oh.
So as you go to do that, you're running like between their legs, and he just kind of like knocks his foot back, and it just kind of clips you into the wall. You basically stumble in, you fall on the ground prone as you kind of stumble into the windmill itself. Looking around, what you can see from the floor position, it does look like a lot of the inside's been destroyed, like a lot of grain barrels have been split open, sacks, flour is everywhere. You can see a rickety ladder that leads up into other floors and like a small like bed and stuff, and you can see some sort of shape upstairs just kind of quivering and shaking, but that's pretty much all you get to see. And because of the action, because you fucked up on the acrobatics, you just basically end your turn there.
Okay.
As you like clip into the wall and land. Elora,
I'm going to. How far away is my father
pretty,
from them?
yeah, from them, well, probably about 10 feet, like it got punted him about 10 feet back.
Okay, I'm going to cast Moonbeam on the area where the giant is at 3rd level.
Okay.
And so it doesn't go near my father.
Yeah.
Then, as my bonus action, polar bear form and stand in front of him and growl
Okay.
out.
So you kind of like get in front of him and start growling. Your form shifts around you. The moonbeam just basically bursts through the clouds and rains down right in front of this windmill on the giant that kicked your dad. The giant is so big, it actually occupies the full 10-foot radius of the beam, and it's just kind of like, what's that light? It's not night time. Like looking up, and looks to be very, very confused. And you are now in a defensive position around your dad. Trelemar, what would you like to do?
Blast him, obviously.
Blast him!
Yeah.
Would you like to hex as a bonus action?
Yeah,
Which you can
I
do
will
first?
now that I know I can do it.
So okay, so you hex, you get to pick one stat that they have disadvantage on ability checks for.
Ooh.
Good one for them.
So strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma.
But they have
So one of
one of those, okay.
But it's not on saving throws, it's only on things like if they try and grab somebody or if they try and dodge out the way and stuff, like, or if they try and do skills, basically. It's not like saving throws.
Dexterity. Okay,
Dexterity,
so-
okay. Yep. So he is
Lumbering.
hexed. I'll put him on A. So the one who basically kicked Elora's dad, kicked Alphadon, you reach up and you just watch as these kind of eldritch chains kind of wrap around its feet and arms, and it's like, what's going on? Where'd these come from? And it looks around and you can feel like the necrotic energy seeping into its body, and then do you shoot a beam at one each or two beams at one?
Yeah, one each.
Okay.
So one is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
That easily hits, yep.
And the other one is 9, 10, 11, 12,
I'm guessing they're
13,
pretty big
14,
targets.
15, 16,
Yes.
17.
Yes, easily hits both.
Nice.
Each, a beam on each.
Boom.
Lovely.
Boom. So purple energy launches out from your hands, strikes each giant in its chest. I mean, yeah, these guys are huge. You're talking sort of like 13, 14 foot tall now that you're looking up at them. Just masses of fat muscle.
13 for one.
14?
13.
13 on one, yep.
And then 6 for the other.
6 on the other. Both of them, like, it blows into their body, but their body just seems to ripple with just all this gluttonous fat. Just and he's like, wow, that stung! That weird silver man hurt me! And they just look down at you.
Oh dear.
And yeah, you now see these looming figures rise up above you. Juto.
So you say one of them had a wooden club?
Yes, well, it's not a club, it's half a tree that he's picked up and seems to wield like a club. It is enormous.
I was thinking about setting it on fire, but then that would probably make it worse for the rest of us.
Fire doesn't ever go well.
What?
You can do
We're
whatever you would
outside.
like to do, Kim. What would Juto do? Would Juto set it on fire?
He wants you to.
No,
Look at him.
I'm trying Kim
Set
to
everything on
encourage her to play her character.
I would like to... Which one's closest to the king and Alora?
The one who kicked him, so literally he's currently standing in the moonbeam. He's right in front of the entrance to the windmill.
So I might get caught by the moonbeam.
If you
Yeah,
move
you'd
up
get caught
directly
to-
next
you
to him,
would.
yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to go in it.
But the other one is kind of just off to the side.
I would like to attack that one.
Okay, so you leap off the horse,
but
you
can I
run up
go
to
into
it.
that?
Do it in a way that I'm trying to like work on his ankles so I can trip him
Yeah,
down.
absolutely. Yeah. So you're kind of calling the shot. Let me know if you get a critical hit or a 19 or higher on your attack roll. Or like on a roll, on a
That would
dice
be me
roll.
now.
Okay. 7, 18.
That hits. Your poison damage will affect on this as well
8,
from the
9,
grind
10, 11, 12, 13. 16 in
16
total.
damage, okay. Yep, so the first Gwendale strike slashes through. Ow! Oh, I don't feel very well. He like holds down his cut ankle.
14, 15, 16, 17, 20.
Second one, you just swipe through. I mean, this is like it's like having a massive tree in front of you. This just blubberous leg that you can just strike into. You only get the poison damage once. Don't forget.
Oh no, this
It's
is
once
for
per round.
my punch.
You get a second Gwendale attack.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
forget.
second one down attack, don't I? Yeah.
So roll that.
7.
7. Okay, and then the punch.
Natural 1.
Yeah, well, the natural one, that misses. So you kind of strike him with the Grandal twice, causing these cuts along through its blubbery, like whale-like flesh. And then you punch it, but it's just like hitting a sack. It's just like... You just didn't quite give it enough force, you think, to actually do damage.
Disgusting.
Yeah, and it's just like looking down, it's like, there's a demon fighting me, Jim! And it's just like looking down. It's like, I don't know what to do. Smash it, Ted. The other one calls out. Those are all those guys. The giants. So the one that was standing in front of your dad, he's like looking up at this moonbeam. It fails the moonbeam save. Quite badly. And so just like looks up. It's like, what's that light doing?
21 damage.
Ow! It stings! It burns, Jim!
It will.
And it just kind of, he stumbles out of the moonbeam, but he doesn't go very far. He just kind of steps just outside of it where it's not on him and he thinks he's safe. But then he like looks, he's like, I don't like that bear! I don't like that silver man! And he reaches out and plucks out like a massive like stone from the windmill and throws it at Trelemar.
Oh.
Damn it, throw it at the bear!
That's a 25 to hit with a big rock.
Yep.
Incoming!
That's 9.
God, just a big rock just being thrown at you.
That's 20 points of damage as this massive stone. Trelemar just gets completely knocked away.
Holy fuck.
Splat.
Oh, he's dead. Now are we going to eat the bear? And he just kind of stomps up to the bear and doesn't do anything. It's got its club though. It does pick up its club as well, as it looks down at the bear, thinking it's killed Trelemar. The other one is going to look at you, and it's just like, kill the demon, as it just tries to smash you with its giant club. That is going to be a 14. Alright, first one smashes into the ground, but you just cartwheel away, just as it slams. Second one's a 9. Once again, can hit Trelemar, can't hit Juto. Just boom, boom, this massive tree trunk is just hitting the ground, sending dirt flying, as you just leap out of the way, just unable to get any bead sort of, indication on
So
it.
trying to hit a mouse.
Yes.
Fiery mouse.
Right, lots of NPCs to go now, in which case I need a little bit of stats, just for Nalistri. The others are quite simple. Nalistri will look over, and he basically is just like, he looks around and he's like, seeing what you did with the moonbeam, he's just like, he kind of swirls his hands, and you can see kind of blue and white magic swirls, and then he throws them out, and next to the one that is fighting you, in his space around his head, just this cloud of like icy knives seems to appear and moves around, and it just cuts away at the ogre's flesh as he's desperately, he's like, trying to get out of the way. He fails that saving throw.
Sorry,
9,
Lost cause.
13.
He knocked my dad over, so.
True that. He didn't know his own strength, though. It's like a clumsy toddler.
Still did it.
Dad did run up to it.
The daggers
Yeah.
seem to just cut into this hill giant's flesh, and his face is just badly scarred by all these icy knives as he's like clutching it. He's like, get them off! It's like bees! Get the bees! As he's just desperately kind of away, and you can see Nalistri concentrating on this spell now as he just stands off to the side. His two bodyguards don't seem to want to move away from him. They're kind of protecting him, but he's kind of focusing on this spell, it seems. Shalana will move up behind you. She doesn't. All she does is conjure a shield around her and your father. Basically, just brings the shield to life. Payla rushes up, swings with her weapons. One attack does miss, but the second one hits. Again, striking the one that went for Alphadon, just doing a little bit more damage as she basically tears into him with like a curved sword. Elitha basically moves up into the shield and begins healing your father. So your mother's just tending to him basically and healing him. And that is all of the NPCs. At the end of the round, Trelemar, there's a tingle in the mask, and you kind of get a familiar warning as your patron, you hear kind of an echo of his words, that the longer you wear the mask, it may draw the attention of beings from other places.
Oh, feck.
And a portal, a shimmering gateway that looks like the night sky, appears next to Trelemar.
Giant rock where he is.
Stepping from it, 3 figures.
Oh, 3!
Kind of almost like olive green skin with pointed ears and faces with no noses, dressed in elaborate armor studded with strange alien metal and gemstones appear.
You're on your own, kid.
They look around, and just in all of your minds, you just hear, "Where is the one that bears the artifact?" As they look around, "Give it to us!" The Githyanki shall not surrender before you give it to us. And they basically pull out these very strange-looking crystalline weapons. And they look thoroughly alien and like nothing we've ever seen before. And they don't do anything yet. They just kind of emerge from this portal, draw weapons, and start looking around. Not quite sure who is in possession of whatever has drawn them to them.
A little bit more warning from the patron, Nathan.
He warned him when he got the
By the
fucking
way.
thing.
It could happen
Hey.
any time.
He is aware of this. I did tell him. Cam Buckland.
Well, I'm inside.
Yep.
I'm going to get up from prone.
Okay, so you pull yourself up. You can hear fighting going on outside, but you can now look around. You can see this rickety ladder leading up to a second floor. The second floor looks like it's kind of like a bedroom. It's kind of got beds, a couple of chairs, bookcases, and things like that. And you can see there is a woman kind of like protecting two children. They've basically formed like a very basic barricade from like beds and shelving, and they're cowering behind that. And she's just got these two kind of young children next to her, and she's just kind of like, it's alright, it's gonna be fine.
I'm here to help.
She like looks down. She's like, who's there?
It's me, your protector and
Please,
savior.
please come up, please. You've got to get us out of here. These giants they're trying to kill us.
1 second. I'm going to close my eyes, and my dupe is outside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast through him, which I can do, my spiritual weapon.
The spiritual weapon pops into existence.
The fake cam is going to pretend to wield it,
Yeah,
but
so
it's
like,
a really huge sword.
it's like, "Ah!" Yeah, he like this. It can just. You guys aren't also sure which is the dupe necessarily because you've seen the two split off. But yeah, Cam is now holding this massive two-handed, glowing, bright yellow sword, just shedding radiant light.
So that's that.
Okay.
And I'm going to,
Turn
spend
your
my
attention
action
back. Yeah.
climbing and
Okay.
getting to them.
Yeah, the ladder you don't need any help. You just kind of climb up a bit. You manage to pull the barricades apart, and then
Hey!
yeah, they're like, "Oh, please, please, we've got to get us out of here."
Well, it's a bit rough outside, so
What?
maybe I'll just protect you and bring you downstairs at least, so if the whole windmill goes over, then you don't die with
Okay.
your children.
They can reach inside downstairs though. That they can get their hands through the doorway.
Alright, is there somewhere you can go that isn't reachable?
Here.
Cool, let's all hang out here.
Okay. And then
I'll
she's
make
looking
sure.
at you. She's like, you get this feeling that she's looking at you with this terror. This man has no idea what he's doing. Oh God.
True.
If
Oh
any
God,
fingers
please.
or if any hands come in, I'll stab them.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Um.
It'll be fine.
Okay. So that's what you do. Hey, Laura.
So he's right in front of me.
Yeah, he's right in front of me, and he's like distracted by these icy knives. The moonbeam is just outside of his area now.
If I move the moonbeam onto the other one, would it catch anyone else?
It would catch Yuto.
Even if I put it a
Well, that'd
little bit
move,
back. So that he
Yeah,
was
that's
back.
true. Actually,
So he
it
was
might
in
clip
it.
some of the windmill though.
What if I move though?
Well,
Well, you haven't moved yet. Though.
you haven't
away.
moved yet.
If I put it on, I'll do it in front of the one that I'm on, but do it in a way that it's not going to catch
Yeah,
me.
you can do that.
So what I'm
easily,
going to
'cause he's
do,
moved
because I
further
can
away
move
from
that
the
as a
building.
bonus.
Yep.
So I'm going to bear attack, and
Yep.
then I'll move that as my bonus.
Yep, sure.
To
Yep, that works perfectly. Yeah, he's kind of moved away from the front of the windmill, so there's loads more room, whereas the one that Juto's fighting is still right next to it.
15 to hit.
15 hits, yep.
13 damage for that,
Okay,
and 20 to hit.
yeah.
And
Bear Laura.
16 damage.
Wow.
And
okay.
he's got moonbeam on him again.
16.
Pow pow!
Nice.
You just tear into his flesh, and now his leg is ragged and bloody. You've kind of gotten down to some of the thick, massive bone that is
Gross.
in his leg, and he's just crying. He's like, "Ah, my leg! Oh, Ted! Ah!" He's just crying out as you tear into him. Trelemar, what would you like to do? These three figures, the portal is still open behind him as well.
Well, I'll take that mask off for a
Okay, you
start.
kind of just like, "Whoa," and then yep, you do that.
Oh shit. I really want to engage them.
The
Tell
massive
them-
rock
tell
that
them-
hit you is smeared with your blood next to you.
Tell them the giants have it.
That. Stop giving advice
Yeah.
out of combat. But I will let you give that. You can give that one.
No, that's not fair.
Okay.
What
What would Trelemar do?
Cry a little bit.
Yeah, hide.
Just bleeding on the floor.
I will.
Yeah.
I will keep myself
away.
in cover from that big rock
Okay.
and blast.
Because you're kind of, so the way to think about it is you've got this windmill on a hill.
Yeah.
You're kind of fighting on the slope of the hill.
Yeah.
Alphadon and most of the NPCs are like a shield, sort of like around him. And then you've got Bear, Laura fighting him. You've got Pela fighting him.
Laura.
Listri and that are off to the side. He's inside, and Juto is next to the windmill fighting the other one. There's not really any cover per se. It's kind of like a big open field.
What about the big giant
big
rock
rock,
that just got chucked at him?
You could try and hide behind that rock, but it's not like that massive. It's kind of like this big.
Oh.
It's like, it was enough to hit you and be like, oh god, I just got hit by a giant rock.
If a boulder hit you, I think you just squash.
You'd just be dead. Yeah, it's not that. It's kind of like, it's like a big building flagstone. Like, sort of like that
cool,
big.
like Eldritch Blast as it was him.
I may have I've missold you on the size of the rock, I'm sorry.
You did.
He did pluck it from the windmill, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Just throws the whole wind.
In that case, I shall turn to the creatures
Yep.
and say, we shall help you find the mask if you help us defeat the giants.
We did not say it was a mask.
Oh, fuck.
And it is here. He has it! Kill him!
Shit.
Master diplomat, Trelevar.
I really
What would
wish
you
I
like to do?
rolled
That's free
initiative.
action to say that. I mean, they do say, he has the mask, kill him.
Like, lie.
Panic fire! Panic fire!
There's one that seems to be the leader, who's kind of leading the other two. Who's the one that was speaking?
Yeah,
we totally
just
just
like
got
double blast him.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Just
love it.
trigger reflex.
I don't know what to do.
Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry. I seem to have incinerated your face.
Fucking hell.
You startled me.
That is amazing. What did you roll to hit, my friend?
So, first one is 23, 24.
Yes, that seems to, even though he's kind of covered in this weird alien metal, like almost like a full plate armor, it does connect and like sends him flying back. What's the second one?
Only a 10.
10? No, the second one just kind of bounces off this strange metal that he's wearing, but the first one does hit.
Oh, damn.
That was very funny though.
We didn't say it.
I was going to say artifact.
10.
10 points. Ah! And he kind of stumbles back. And that is what
Oh well,
happens
let's
with
just murder him.
that. Juto.
When in doubt, eh?
Yeah,
When in
in
doubt.
doubt, let's just
Like,
murder him.
shit! Juto.
Well, I was going to shout at the aliens,
God.
the giants have the artifact you seek. I guess I'll keep wailing on this dude. Can I, however, cast... Now, if I cast a spell with my Dosloot,
Yes.
is that a whole...
You would have to put your Guandao away because the Dosloot is two-handed and it is a full action to cast a spell.
Can I do some key stuff as well? Or, like, Burning Hand?
No. No. That's an action as well, I'm afraid.
Hmm. Screw it, I'm gonna cast Water Whip.
Okay.
And try and trip.
The giant.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, go for it.
My thing.
So give me, so I make a dex saving throw, I believe.
DC 12.
Failed. 11.
I don't have my player's handbook because I left it with you, I'm afraid. Sorry.
That's fine, I can quickly look up Water Whip.
Waddle bit.
What a weird.
Why a weep?
You can look it up too if you wish.
Wobbuffet.
It's not a spell, so I don't know if you've got like
It's
class
in
abilities on there.
monk
Yeah, I know.
stuff.
Water Whip. You spend 2 key points as a bonus action to create a whip of water that shoves and pulls a creature. Creature that you can see
I don't have it.
30 feet must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d10 bludgeoning damage plus 1 extra d10 for every additional key point you spend, and then you can knock it prone.
Okay, so you failed.
So I failed.
So it's 3 of these.
3d10. Yep, roll those. Takes that much damage.
3, 5, 7.
7 points.
You can also do.
No.
Oh, 3, 5, and 7. That's
Yeah.
15.
You can also add key points for an extra d10.
Well, you'd have to do that before I made the saving throw, sadly. Because it would waste them. But yeah, so you knock the Water Whip kind of pulls out of your wineskin, and you kind of almost like an 80-80 in Star Wars, you wrap the water around it and then yank, and just this giant goes, whoa! The ground shakes, you feel it rumble through the windmill as this giant just collapses to the ground. He's I'm falling over, Ted, help me up! And yeah, he just stumbles around, unable to really right himself.
Was that bonus action, did you say?
That is a bonus action to do. Which
Can I smash him up too?
Yes, you may.
Okay, I'll go do that then. I'm going to smash him up.
Yep. So you can make 2 Guandao attacks, and then I'm sorry, as he is prone, you have advantage.
Boom.
Boom shakalaka. Boom, 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 boom.
Good thing you do.
Good thing I do.
Oh my god. A 5 and a 2.
You cursed it! So 5, 7, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 is enough to hit.
Big target.
Yes. Now, not the most agile of folks.
9, 10, 11, 12.
12 points. Okay.
Plus 1 more, so 13 total.
Okay, yep, for the poison. Yep. Second Guandao attack. Don't give you advantage as well.
That one hits.
16.
16 hits.
5, 6, 7, 8.
8, another 8, okay. Yep. And then punch.
Can I punch him?
So again, this flurry of slashes as you bring it down on the prone giant, just stabbing furiously and slashing with a Guandao.
23.
That hits. And now this time, knowing that you need to kick with much more force, you just axe kick him down onto like his broken form. How much?
10.
10 points.
Boom.
A howl of pain as you just drop this axe kick down onto him. Oh! Jim, the Burning King's gonna kill us. We need to run. What about the food, Ted? Forget the food. As they call out to each other. Right, Giantos. Basically, your one, it's in Moonbeam. Fails. Roll damage. The other one is basically gonna pick himself up. I'll take this damage.
20.
Okay, 20 points. So the Moonbeam crashes down on this form. He's like desperately scrabbling up his face, and he finally clears away the icy knives, and then he looks up as just the beam pulses and just disintegrates his form. As the radiant energy just burns him away. Jim just looks, he's like, Ted! He like pulls himself up and just starts running down the hill. He's like crying, and you can just see him just running away like, and he's just desperately trying to get away. He's not very fast though, he goes about 5 feet down the hill, but he's basically making a run for
Is
it.
he very unhealthy looking?
Oh, he looks very injured. Like all of these wounds from your cuts are just stacking up on him. He's got the blast from Chalmar's Eldritch Blast as well. Just desperately kind of like covering all of his body. And yeah, he's just going to book it and run. Alphadon seems to get back up on his feet as your mother kind of helps him up, and he's like, he's just like dusting himself off, and he kind of seems quite embarrassed. Nalistri will turn, and the cloud of knives that he had, he throws them onto the alien creatures that he saw Tralamar attack, and just surrounds them. Payla will rush up and basically kind of get ready with you to fight, but she's not quite sure what's going on. And then the rest of them are all just doing their own stuff. The Gith Yankee, though, I need you to make a strength check. So roll a d20 plus your strength. Oh, wow. 4. He reaches out, Darth Vader style, and you just feel this telekinetic force enwrap your body, and he just lifts you 30 feet in the air and holds you there. He's like, give me the mask, mortal. The Gith Yankee will make greater use of it than you. Or I shall drop you to your death. And he just holds you in the air. The other 2 will rush up and they start...
I've survived a drop like this before.
Yes, it's true.
Well, you didn't, actually.
Well,
the other two rush up. One of them engages Payla, and then the other one is actually going to rush over towards the bear that it's seen fighting. In fact, actually... Oh no, that's an action for them to do that, so they're just going to rush up. So the one against Payla is going to hit once. But they wield these massive silvery crystalline greatswords. Payla just takes a nick to the face, but doesn't seem to phase her that much. The other one runs up towards you, and with 2 greatsword attacks. So that's a 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
And
I'm a big target.
Second attack is a 21 to hit, so I'm just going to add damage together. Oh my goodness, this is quite a lot actually. So you take 12. So you take 12 physical damage plus another 6 psychic damage. So that's 18 from the first attack.
Dang.
I always imagine that's like emotional damage.
8.
Why? It's like flashes of horrible
And
memories.
then another 11 from the second attack. So this silver sword, as it kind of strikes your body, not only is it cutting through your defences, you just feel this pain in your head, this intense, agonising pain in your mind as it just
29
ravages you.
damage.
Yeah, they're pretty mean. I can leave it on that page now that Ted's running away. So that's their go. Cam Buckland.
I don't even know they're here yet.
No, you have heard commotion. You've heard like this weird voice saying, "I never said it was a mask. Kill him. He has the mask."
Oh, okay.
You also hear the giant running away. You
Right.
don't know. All you heard was burning from like the other one. You just heard.
Do I see Trell rise up out of the hole
What
of the
you
window?
doing?
You would actually, yeah. It would be online. Like you look out the window and you can just see him like.
Oh, hey, Trell. I'm going to cast Healing Word.
Okay.
Have a nice trip.
So you just lean out and be like.
He's my friend. I say to the
They like.
kids.
Why is he flying?
You might want to cover the kids' eyes for the next picture.
She just instantly covers them. It's like, oh god! Oh god, please! Battlemat, save
I'll
us!
cast it at 3rd level.
Okay, roll those d4s, baby! Roll them d4s, baby!
Rolling.
18.
How far away is the giant now?
He got like 5 feet away
28.
from you, so he did not get very
Oh.
I have 45 foot
I'm at
movement.
20
He's
fucking
going
8.
down.
Well,
Jude's like, I feel sorry for him.
I feel
Not
sorry for
that
him,
sorry
but not that
for
sorry.
He will die.
So I imagine I'm doing a Healing Word and just Chang.
Yeah, you're
Just
like, yeah.
Yeah, he does this all the time. He's going to fall in a minute, but yeah.
Any
guys
minute
okay
now,
now?
he's just gonna go.
Yes, I think so.
Awesome. Don't look.
Going anywhere on your holidays?
They just like hide him.
My spiritual weapon
Oh yeah, is Jupiter still outside? You can move it.
is going to...
So now, Healing Word is a bonus action. And,
spiritual
you
weapon.
can't use an action as a bonus action, as I found out.
Right.
You can't substitute them.
I'm going to use my action
To
jump out of the hole and grab Trell and just throw him to the floor so that they don't do it.
Okay, you need to give me first of all.
I will cause you this pain so that they don't.
I don't know if he's going to be slammed into the floor.
Can
You
you
need
like just
first things you
shield?
need to do is you need to give me an
Oh my
athletics check.
Oh, you're gonna miss the window and just hit them.
He's gonna-
we just
No,
spoke
no,
step
you'll
there.
get to the window. It's the jumping from the window about
To
10,
Trell.
15 feet to Trell, grabbing Trell.
what was it, acrobats or
Athletics, it's a jump.
17.
17. He successfully. So you turn around.
Thank
Go,
you.
Trell! You feel this life-giving energy fill your body, and you're like, "Ah, Buckland's healed me. Brilliant." And then you turn around, and he just runs to this window.
No.
And he grabs you mid-air. At which point, you need to give me a strength check, please. Just d20 plus strength.
17.
17. You begin to slowly descend with Trelmar as you begin bringing him down ever so slowly.
fuck.
And you can see this alien creature like straining, like trying to hold him up. But
See,
you're like,
this was a good idea.
I told you to lay off those pies. Jesus Christ.
It's the armor.
Elora, your go.
Beautiful moment.
Yeah.
So
They're just hugging each other, like literal like cams
Slowly
hugging
descending.
Trell, like,
Maybe a slight spin as
So
well.
there's one on
Superman.
me,
Glitter.
yes.
one on Pela, and one
And
on
then one which is
just
controlling
standing.
this
So the one that's
telekinesis
standing
spell.
on his own,
Yep.
Moonbeam,
Okay, you bonus action move that over to him.
and the one that's on me.
You do like
Fight.
19.
19 hits. It's wearing like very good looking armor, like it kind of covers most of his body, but it seems very light.
9 damage for that one. And
9.
17 to hit.
Yep, hits. It just pierces through its armor.
Just.
12 damage.
12 damage on that one. Wow. Yeah, you kind of just swiping with these giant claws, and it tears through its flesh. It doesn't bleed red blood. It has this thick green Icarus blood, and it kind of like and it brings this greatsword back to bear on you as you concentrate on moving the moonbeam at the same time. The one that you move the moonbeam over is like it's just like glancing up, and it knows what it is, but it kind of can't do anything about it right now.
Nope.
So that was Alora's go. Trelemar, you are slowly descending. You probably descend about 10 feet by the end of this, so you're still 20 foot in the air, because it is very slow descent. But you can look down and you can see this guy focusing on the spell.
You gonna blast something?
Can I aim at one of the other ones?
Yeah.
So the one that's attacking Alora.
Yeah. You will, I would say, with Buckman grabbing onto you, you probably would have disadvantage, because he's literally holding onto you while you're trying to concentrate on these spells. So, yeah. Imagine that somebody's literally wrapped around you and you're trying to do, like, beam.
Actually, beam your crotch.
Just blasts in every direction.
It's just
boom, 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 boom.
13, 14?
Not enough, unfortunately. It kind of rolls to the side as the blast just, hits the grassy ground next to it as it just smashes aside. Second beam. Oh, that was an eyebrow raise. I'm assuming that was good.
18?
18. Even with the disadvantage, even with Buckland, you managed to bring an arm to bear, summon the energy, and it strikes the target true.
Not to bear.
Not to bear.
Not to bear.
No.
6.
6 more points of damage.
Thanks.
It gets knocked to the side, not knowing where this blast was going to come from, as it just kind of stumbles to the ground. Still alive, but looking quite injured. Juto.
I'm gonna bring down Big Ted.
So you just run after him.
I'm just gonna come after him.
Okay. At this point, you just sprint after him.
Exactly. No witnesses.
There is no competition there.
I heard the word Burning King.
Yeah.
This guy's not going anywhere.
This guy's not going anywhere.
Okay. 16, 17, 18, 19,
Easily
20,
hits.
21,
First one down. Right, can you kill him in one round? Probably.
6, 7,
Damage
8,
Okay.
Poison.
9, 10.
Okay.
Second attack.
Second one down. Natural 1.
Ooh, not good. Punch.
Punchy. Oh, it was so close to a natural 20!
It was.
Ah!
It rolled back.
8.
Plus bonuses?
8.
Not enough, unfortunately.
Can I flurry?
Yes, you can spend a key point.
19, 20,
That's a hit.
blah, blah, blah.
Yep, easily hits.
8.
8. Ooh. Oh, leave me alone, demon, please! Oh my god, my mate's dead! And yeah, you're just like slashing at his ankles, and he's stumbling, and it's kind of slowing him down, but he's just about, he's bleeding profusely, but he is still standing.
I feel really bad.
He just runs, but
you wouldn't kill Dimitri, but you're slaughtering a poor giant.
Yeah.
At this point, your dad stands up, and he kind of is just like, oh, get off, it's fine. He steps out of this thing, looks at this one fighting you, and he just turns around and he's like, you weird bastard, get your hands off my daughter! And a lightning bolt flies out of his hand.
Zeus style.
Yeah, very much. The alien creature just turns, barely has the time to react.
Holy shit.
It's lightning bolt, isn't it?
Dice.
Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
Powerful.
Lightning bolt.
The bolt, he turns just in time as the bolt blasts through his chest and emerges the other side as he's like, and then just collapses to the ground.
Wow.
As your dad's like, he's breathing quite hard, but like obviously summoning that spell took quite a lot out of him. But he kind of it's just like you can see he's very angry. Nalistri's spell actually goes off as well. The guy does save, but he does take a little bit of damage. Which means he has to make a concentration check, which he will probably pass, which he does. But these daggers are just slicing into him.
With
Yes, the moonbeam as well, actually. That is a 15 saving throw.
I think that wins.
So it's half damage, I think. So he kind of like dodges to the side as these clouds of like knives, these icy knives, cut into his flesh. The moonbeam singes him as he dodges to the side as well.
Oh, he only takes 5. I rolled really bad. Oh, well.
5 as well. So that's going to be 20, but he does need to make another concentration check. which he passes. So he's managing to keep hold of this telekinesis spell, but yeah, all these things are kind of like bounding into him.
He's blind from...
He
Impressive.
really wants us in the
Taylor
air.
hits twice on the other Githyanki, doing some damage. She's just swiping at him. She's got a shield raised, and she's just kind of keeping him busy. They kind of seem to just be engaged in a bit of a melee fight at this point. The one who's holding you is just like, enough of this. He moves out of the moonbeam, pushes you. Give me both. In fact, one of you. Who's got the high strength out of the two of you?
Not me.
Well, mine's 1, so
I got
Plus
11.
one. Right, there you
So
go.
0.
So
Yeah, you've both got the same.
you can give me a strength check with advantage. So roll a d20 and then add your strength bonus, but use 2 d20s and choose the highest.
Can I help him because I'm...
That's the advantage.
That's the advantage.
Right, right.
Because you are there as well, giving extra weight.
oh, 3.
Cool.
Okay.
No, you got advantage, so it was the higher.
Oh, sorry, I think it's a disadvantage.
No,
No,
Oh,
sorry.
advantage. No,
Oh,
it's
sorry.
an advantage.
15 plus your bonuses.
Oh, so then it's 16.
16. Unfortunately, he seems to manage to conjure up enough power to like push you another 30 feet up
Oh,
to about
for
50 feet, and then he cancels the spell. The two
Right,
of you
thank-
fall to the ground.
thanks
I
for
need
the-
you both
thanks.
to give me acrobatics checks, and if one of you wants to be on the bottom, you may fight over that.
How?
I'm a top, so...
Oh boy.
12.
12.
14.
14. Are you
pushes-
trying to put Cam on underneath you, basically? Are you going to try and use Cam to soften the landing?
No, I'm not that much of a
Okay.
dick.
It's fine, Trell.
The two of you fall together
Well, you're arguing
as you
both
fall
sides.
out of the ground, out of the sky. However,
Can we react in
it's
any
fine.
way?
Your mother looks up, sensing that they're falling. She just flows her hands up, and the two of them slowly start to fall as she casts a featherfall spell on both of you.
Oh.
As
You
you're
lost
like-
weight.
Yeah, you basically become like very super light as you're drifting down to the ground. But she kind of like, and she just manages just to catch them as they float down. The alien creature kind of just looks around angrily and then just draws this two-handed silver sword. It's like, enough of this. And that is what they do. Elora. No, Cam Buckland. Oh no, sorry, the other two make attacks. He's dead, but the one fighting Paler will attack. That's a hit. 6. Quite a lot of damage. Not a hit. A nasty blow to the side, kind of Paler clutches it, but she kind of, rolls with the punches. Cam Buckland, what would you like to do?
Spiritual weapon. At
The
the
guy
closest.
runs, yeah, he like, the closest one would be the one fighting Commander Paler.
Okay, do that one.
Yep, runs in, charging heroically.
It's just my normal attack bonus, right?
A spell attack bonus, yeah.
Spell attack. In which case, that's 11.
No. The creature kind of brings its magical sword up and blocks the spiritual weapon almost, vibrating with energy as it blocks the spiritual energy of your spell.
Alright, while I'm floating then, I will Nimbus.
Okay, which one? The one fighting Paler or the main guy who seems to be
The same.
the same guy? Yep, okay.
Same guy.
So Nimbus flies at your hand.
Yeah, that is a...
Your
22.
dupe is next to it, so you technically have advantage, but yes, that
22.
does hit.
Roll in case you get an extra 20.
It's worth doing.
No.
No.
7.
7 points of damage.
Piercing.
Nice. It's magical as well. The dagger as it looks around and then
I'm just waving as I'm floating.
it's like as he looks up.
Catch the Nimbus.
Let's take a bit. Okay. Elora, you'll go.
I put the moonbeam on the main guy again.
Yep, you move it again.
And then go for the one that's attacking Paler
Okay.
with the moonbeam. 19.
19 hits.
6.
6 points.
And 13, that won't hit.
13 does not hit now. Again, it's metal kind of alien armor seems to deflect the blow, but it does look quite injured as well. The two warriors definitely. Well, one's dead actually. The warrior does look quite injured. The other guy just looks like he's been annoyed. He doesn't necessarily look like he's got big wounds on him. He's kind of got like scratches and marks and things like that. However, it is Tralamar. You'll go.
I shall blast.
You are no longer disadvantaged because Cam is not holding on to you. You are just drifting slowly down.
Cool.
Like Jeebus.
I'll aim one blast at the main chap and another blast at...
2 beams.
Yeah, the
right
guy.
at your hands.
So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 for the main chap.
Hits. Yep, absolutely.
And then the other one was 17 for the other guy.
That also hits.
Ooh.
So
Damn.
roll me 1 damage and I'll use it for both. It's easier, it's quicker.
15. No, 15? I count 5.
5, okay.
So I was doing 10 on the 1d10.
Okay,
Oh, not
so the
with it.
beam strikes both of them, poof, again knocking them down. You can see it by the Eldritch Energy scorching their flesh as they fall. Juto. Ted. Yep.
Stab him. Natural 20.
How would you like to kill him? You're chasing him down, so he's running away from
Probably
you.
something
But-
nasty with his ankles.
So you just like cut the hamstring, he goes to one knee, falling down to the ground, and then you leap up and with the rest of the blade you jam it into the back of his neck, up into the skull, and then you just watch as his body twitches and then it goes and falls silent. And just lays down on the ground. You pull it out, makes a disgusting noise as you do, and you turn
Spin
back
my
and see
blade.
the mess that your friends are also in.
Can I just spin my blade so like all the blood comes off and just look really cool?
Yeah, pretty much. Right, NPCs. Right.
That was good. Enjoyed that. I took down the giant on my own.
Poor Ted.
And Jim.
And Jim. Poor
So,
Jim.
Taylor,
Just
the one that you're
disintegrated.
fighting alongside Taylor, with you being there as an added distraction, the creature's desperately trying to fight the two of you off. And as it goes to block your bear claws, Taylor just grabs his neck and rams the curved sword right through his chest, tearing it free and throwing the body to the ground, and then whirls round. Slightly injured, you can see her sides bleeding quite badly, but she kind of like defends it with her shield and then gets into a defensive position. Nalistri conjures what looks to be like a ray of frost at the main guy, and just launches it towards him, which hits. Doesn't do a lot of damage. It does some. And yeah, it seems like this frigid beam of continuous ice is just going against the main warrior that was holding Trelemar aloft. Eletha's doing that. Shalana's doing that. Your father will turn around, and this time he doesn't seem to be engaging in melee. He just points, and 3 missiles fly out of his wrist. Blue bolts of energy surround it and strike the creature as well. That's going to be 5 plus 3. That's 8 more points. Okay. At this point, with being the only one left, the warrior, this Githyanki who was demanding the artifact, looks around. He's just like, I shall return, creature. That mask will be the property of the Githyanki. And with a fist, the planes kind of envelop him. Your moonbeam does go off. He will take the damage from it. It's not going to kill him, but it's worth knowing.
18.
18 more points. That's going to put him about half. And yeah, the planes just kind of envelop around him, and then he pops out of existence. And you are out of initiative. That was an unexpected complication to an encounter I thought would be different.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm just floating, just gracefully landing.
We got time? Is it break?
It is break time.
Okay,
It is, yeah.
we are going to take a quick break because we've got a fan art video for you guys this week as well.
do.
Thank you, Tron and Katie, for putting it together.
There's
Thank you,
about
everybody who
almost
put it in.
80 pieces of fan art.
Lots of art.
There's a
in
few
there.
that did come in after we finished it, but don't worry, we'll catch it all next time.
We'll catch you next time,
Could
especially
we
all the
have it
cosplays from
on
MCM.
these screens as well, Steve?
Yeah,
Yeah,
put it
can we
up,
change the
Steve-O.
screen?
Thank you.
But yes, enjoy.
Enjoy
We'll
the
be-
break. We will be back in about 5 minutes.
Yes.
Thanks very much, guys.
Yes.
Bye.
But
Hello and welcome back to a less wiggy HighRollers.
Hey! Still
Katie
committed.
is representing hardcore.
I'm still.
I gave up.
I need to get.
Although my
Sorry.
gloves are off because it's difficult to
To
The gloves are
write
off.
and roll dice.
So thank you for joining us once again where we are doing our crazy, it's not even that crazy Halloween, we're just wearing our office Halloween
Exactly
costume parties
the
really.
same.
Yeah.
You should have made them spooky.
We're wearing
giants.
our office Halloween costumes, not our office Halloween parties. I'm very tired. Um,
Wearing our office parties.
We're wearing the office parties. So if you just joined us, the group have begun making their way towards the Winter Spire, accompanied by Nalistri Frostwalker, Elora's parents, and Queen Shalana and Commander Pela. And so far they have learned a little bit more about their emissary, this Nalistri, who seems to harbour some sort of grudge against Elora, and despite some mental probing from Trelemar, it has revealed not too much. He has shown small acts of kindness, or at least willing to be sociable, but also seems to get
Don't do
very
it,
pissed
man.
off.
Don't do it, man.
What are you doing?
Don't ruin the front bit.
by all means.
Okay, Katie's giving me fucking
There we go.
massive
Very
evil.
delicate.
Along the way, the
It's
group have
delicate.
encountered a couple of hill giants who were actually ransacking a windmill, and decided to engage and try and help the people. However, because of some prolonged wearing of the mask of his patron, the
That was a
mask of
fun
eyes,
consequence.
Shroud of Eyes, did bring in some extra planar enemies that also joined the fight and almost caused some problems. However, it was dealt with swiftly and easily by our one noble party and the allies, and now you are basically left. This windmill has been ransacked, it's been very badly damaged, but it's not completely destroyed. Cam is currently, you leapt out. You know that there is a woman and 2 young children who are inside. Elora's father was injured but seems to have been healed by his wife. And yeah, that's pretty much where we left things off.
Can I pillage the cold dead corpse of Giant Ted?
Giant Ted has a very smelly looking loincloth and a big tree club.
What about the alien things?
Well, yes, there are 2 Githyanki warriors that you defeated. I need to check what happens with their weapons, because I think they might stick around.
Ooh.
Big ones. Big old.
No, the regular. So the 2 that you killed, one killed by your father and one killed by Pela. NPC kill stealing. They do have sort of very alien-looking half-plate armor, which you could take, and they have great swords, but they are not silver; they are crystalline. However, you notice that the leader had a silvery-looking one that was very, very powerful. But yeah, they do have half-plate. They don't have anything else. They just seem to have these weapons and armor. However, Nalistri will kind of approach Trelemar. Those were Githyanki. They're from the astral plane. What is this mask they spoke of? Is that what you were using to
Different mask. Don't worry about it.
narrows his eyes? They are quite powerful planar entities. You should be very careful. They have vast armies that linger in the astral plane. They sail upon ships that traverse the stars as if they were the ocean. They are very powerful. They have powerful mental magic as well. You should be cautious, Dark Elf.
How do you know so much about these creatures?
If it wasn't completely obvious, I am a wizard. I study the arcane arts. My knowledge extends to the planes and other phenomena that involves magic.
I'm going to push through them, between the two,
Okay.
heading towards the nobility.
Yep. You can see
I
that
know
they're
it's
kind of
different.
gathered. You can see Alora's mother is kind of fussing over her father, like checking his like legs and arms. He's kind of like, I'm fine. He caught me off guard, that was all.
There's a woman and children in the windmill.
What?
I'm going to go get them
They're
out.
alive? Oh, excellent work, Emulus. Well done.
No problem, King Majesty.
And Queen Shalana kind of gives you a head. She's like, thank you, Emulus. Yes, please.
I'm going to run in and tell them that it's okay. It's all safe.
Oh, the giant's gone.
The giants are gone.
Okay.
You might want to shield the children's eyes. There's a bit of a mess outside.
Oh, goodness. Oh, well, hang on. And she kind of like, right, you go down, little one. And like, she sends the children down, and you kind of help them down. They kind of look up at you, and they're kind of just like peasant kids, basically.
Pat them on the head.
Yeah, they got like dirty straw-like hair. Like one of them's a young boy, one of them's a young girl. The boy's like, thanks, sir.
Nice windmill.
Thanks. I think it's just my windmill. It's my dad's.
You going to patch it up?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Is your dad around?
Yeah. Well, that he went off. He went to a town, and then the giants came.
All right, so you're going to wait here until he comes back?
Yeah, I can wait here.
Cool.
And they're kind of like, as the woman comes in, she's like, you children, go sit over there. Sit down. Just stay inside. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. Like, is it just you?
No, we have a whole party here. Thankfully, we came in time.
Yes, my husband, the children said he went off to a town to fetch some supplies a few hours ago, and then those creatures just lumbered out of nowhere. They smashed the door with their hands, and they reached in and were taking barrels of grain and flour, and then they heard me scream, and then they were trying to bring me out and grab me and take me. They said something about a burning king or some such.
Yes, yeah, we've heard of this, but you don't need to worry about those giants anymore. We have dispatched them. And they...
What? And she kind of like pokes her head out of the door, and she's like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do about those bloodies? What should we do?
The big ones or the small ones?
Small ones?
Yeah.
What?
We'll burn it all. Should we burn it all?
Is that...
I just
don't
kind of
know.
hold my hand out and a little tuft of flame.
Oh my
She can
goodness!
burn stuff.
And she like looks at you. She's like, oh, "You're a tiefling." Oh my goodness! I'm sorry. Sorry. No, I shouldn't stare. It's very rude. I'm so sorry. I've just never seen one of your kind before. You have horns at the tail. That's so strange. Sorry.
That's her smile.
Oh, okay.
She's smiling at you.
I think I need some air. And she kind of like just
She's
leaves
smiling.
outside.
She likes you.
And she's like just like
Don't call
fanning herself.
She's met with Bear Laura when she.
Oh
walks
my
out.
goodness, a bear! Sir, is this your bear?
Don't worry, we are all friends here.
Okay.
I'm
The
gonna
bear is
try
an
and
elf.
I'm gonna try and look really. I'm gonna do the bear wave thing when it sits on its.
The kids like are looking at. They're like ah, and they're like clapping and stuff. She's like, oh, yes, hello. Well, look, we've got no way of repaying you.
Oh, you don't need to pay us. We were just passing through. We passed through quite well, I
Thank
think.
goodness you did. At this point, Althodon kind of moves up. He's just like, are you all right, woman? And she like, looks at him and she's like, yes, thank you, sir. Yes, your friend has just been explaining. He's just like, oh, good. Do you not have defences? Do you not have some sort of army or some such around here? Is there no town that will protect you? And she's just like, well, no, the village is quite a few right away, sir. Just me and my husband, we have a small cottage nearby, and we live off on our own, really. And he's just like, oh, this is terrible. You need defences here. Crossbows up in the top floor. That's what you
I'm
need.
gonna transform back and just be like, calm down.
It's just like,
They're
well,
fine.
It's just, well, this is silly. Why don't these people defend themselves?
To be honest,
This is the problem. They need to
Father,
learn more.
Father?
Yes. Sorry.
they had the mark of the burning king.
Who?
This is a recent. This is a recent group of bandits we've come across.
Bandits. Scum. Terrible. I'm so sorry. But invest in some crossbows. And then Eletha's like, yes, come. Yes, do it. And she leads him away. She's just like, I want Shalana to have a look at your arm. It's not quite. And he's like, I'm fine. Stop fussing, woman. And fusses off. She kind of drags him off. Palea is also being healed. You can see that Eletha's also healing her as well with magic, just kind of gently kind of nursing their wounds together. Listree's just kind of still looking at you. He's just like, your magic. Where did you gain such powers? That's not studied. Some sort of sorcerer, are you?
I've picked a few things up on my travels.
Clearly. You should really invest in some way to prevent yourself from falling out of the sky, though.
Well,
That's where I come in.
yeah.
Yes, quite.
Mystery, what was the name of the village you wanted to stop at?
It's called Melody. It's off the beaten track, though. I wasn't planning on us stopping there. I just need to visit it.
It's not... What's the name of the place that your father went to, kids?
He went to... Mark's got to look at his name.
Not Melody.
No, it's called Red Crop.
It's a shame.
And Lisa's just like, Melody...
We've heard Melody before, have we?
He mentioned it before. I think.
Yeah, he...
Was it from him? No.
You have heard it before.
We have heard it before.
Kim
Have
wasn't
you
here
heard
to
it
take notes.
No, we have heard
Who's
it.
mocking who now?
Oh wait,
heard
that's
it
not where the
before.
Burning Kings lot were
Oh, you wouldn't
planning
do
on
that, would you, Mark?
attacking. Or were
Yeah,
the
it's just like,
goblins
he's like, no,
living?
Melody's several days away still. It will take at least 3 days.
I may have written that down actually.
How, is this village red something I'm talking to the
Yes.
kids and the
Red
mother?
Crop's on the way.
Melody,
Yes.
Hobgoblin in charge.
Why don't they come with
operate
us and we
out
can
of
drop them
Dwarven
off with their
Fortress
father?
behind Stone.
We don't
So
really...
it's obviously all around there.
Good, it's settled.
Right,
Thank you,
fair
Cold
enough.
Balls. Let's get them on.
It is
Well, they can
Melody.
ride on your horse then.
And that's fine by me.
Melody is Broken Sky.
Broken Sky.
Burning King.
Burning King.
Yeah.
Is it Burning King?
Yeah.
Or Broken Sky.
Burning
Let's,
King.
Oh, Hobgoblins.
Yeah.
let's chat about that on the way. But we're going to pick up these guys and drop them off at their little village with the father.
I'm assuming you didn't say that in character, or did you?
No, I was just. No.
I'm more looking at Matt.
No,
no, you,
no,
like, that was like a as a notes thing. Yes.
That
we
was
have
I wrote it down. Here's
Yeah.
what I wrote.
Okay. It's like, all right, fine, but we should
We
be
do
making
know
our
that.
way. We do need to. If they want to come with us, bring them with us.
We'll just drop them off at the village.
Yes, that's fine. It's on the way. Cool. Right. Are we settled? Is everything all right? Is everyone healed?
Yeah, is everyone okay?
I
Yeah.
didn't take any damage.
You
Me.
okay?
I'm fine, you know.
I
Cam,
floated.
Cam healed me.
Oh, we healed you.
And I didn't break my legs or anything.
And at least he looks over to your mother. He's like, Lady Alethra, are you and Alphadon all right? She just looks like, yes, he'll be fine. He needs. We should probably think about finding somewhere to rest soon, though. He's like, yes, I agree.
We could rest at that village.
Yes, it should. We should. If we ride hard, we should be able to reach Red Cop within a few hours. So
Then let's be on our way.
very well. And he calls the horses over, and you kind of mount up, and everything mounts up. The woman kind of has to ride along with you. She's kind of like, oh, and she kind of climbs up. She's not unused to horses. She's just not used to
So I
riding
got
prepared.
the woman behind, and I have the two kids in front.
The horse won't take all of them.
How big are the kids?
Like kind of like 10, 11 sort of thing. So you kind of need to split them up.
all right. I thought they were like 5 or 6.
No, no, no.
Okay, you're gonna have to split the kids.
I'll take one.
Well,
Okay. the boy is just like, ah. He like looks at your coat. He's like, your coat's really cool.
I know it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that a dragon on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you want to pet the dragon?
Can I?
Yeah.
And Granimir's just like, and he just like licks his hand. He's like, oh, I lick my hand. And then he starts stroking. He's like, oh, it's so cool. And like he is just completely enamored by this dragon as you kind of like ride with him, sort of like
Right.
sit in front of you.
Druid crafts some flowers and put them in her hair.
And she's like, ah, and she's like
In front of me.
a very typical girl, like a lot of the girls you encounter. She's like, you're so pretty. Ah, I love your hair. Ah! Just like very much like that, and it's just like looking at your dress and stuff like that, and is constantly asking questions like, like when she kind of like when you kind of talk about the moon, she's like, are you from the moon? And things like that, like, but the moon's up in the sky and stuff like that. Very innocent kind of questions. Every now and again, though, they kind of look over towards Juto's horse.
Forever alone.
And they're like, but yeah, you guys make your way, and it takes you a couple of hours, but you eventually ride into a small village. However, when you arrive, it is not with a pleasant sight.
Never is.
You see, as you get closer and closer, you can see that there is smoke. Not much, but just a thin wisp rising up from the village. And as you get closer, you begin to see that there is... They've done their best to hide them under things like blankets or in buildings, but there are a lot of bodies. There are bodies of men and women, humans, a few half-elves, a few halflings. There's also bodies of hobgoblins, what looks like bandits, and one of those hill giants is actually collapsed in sort of the main town square, just completely impaled by like 20 spears. The village itself, you can see that a lot of the buildings have been burnt or damaged. as you kind of make this very somber trot through, the kid's becoming very quiet and just kind of constantly looking around. The girl kind of quietly sobbing. The mother's just like, oh, by the gods, no, like, as you're kind of taking her through.
I'm going to try and cover the little girl's eyes.
Yeah, she's just crying into your hand at this point. But what you find is that as you get closer, you see a town square up ahead. You can see that there is actually a few townsfolk still there. Most of them look quite old. There are a few kind of young men and women, probably but late teenagers, not like, adults or anything like that. The only adults you can really see is there are 2 women and a man who have got what looks to be a pair of bandits tied up to a post with a heavy pile of wood and kindling beneath them, and the man is holding an unlit torch. And you can see that they are in some sort of discussion with each other. One of the bandits is half conscious, the other one is unconscious.
Juto, you might want to stop that.
Stop what?
The burn. Those 2 they're gonna get burnt. We want to interrogate at least, get some information.
Why me?
Because I've got the woman on the back.
Yeah, as you kind of draw closer, you can just hear them. The man and the women, the 2 women, are just kind of conversing, and you can kind of hear smatterings of the conversation. Just like, as soon as the other one wakes up, that's it. I want them to be alive when we do this. Like, they need to feel what we felt. And you can. The 2 women are agreeing. They're like, yeah, well, should we get some water? Should we try and wake them up? It's like, no, they'll come round. They'll come round. Give them a few minutes.
I am a tiefling.
Yeah, that's true.
The leader of the Burning King is a tiefling.
Yeah.
They will not listen to me.
Shalana kind of like moves up, looks to you, and she's just like, we can't let them kill them, Laura. I don't know what these men have done, but that's barbaric to burn them alive.
Can someone interrupt them that doesn't have
As you kind of say
civilians?
that, Nalistri glances back and rides forward. He hops off the ice horse. They all kind of turned around and like are taken aback by this display, and the torch that the man's holding, Nalistri just clicks his fingers and ice just around the top. He's just like, you're not doing that, put that down. And they just turn on him and they just start berating him, and you can just hear them like, what are you doing, Elf? You don't know what these people have done. They killed my family, they've killed my husband. And he just holds his hands up, and he doesn't say anything, he's just doing that, and they're just berating him like, get the fuck out of here, you don't understand. Look at you, you don't understand what we've been through, and just like hurling this kind of abuse at him basically. One of the women goes to strike him, and he just grabs her hand. He's not very strong, but he's just kind of holding it in place, and you can see frost kind of around her wrist, and he just is doing this and kind of like pointing at her quite sternly.
I jump off my horse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring the little girl down, and can I... Well, the horse that travels...
Shalana picks that kid up.
Is
She'll just take her off you and just be like, it's all right, come here. And
I want to go up
grabs her.
to Nalistri as well and say, everybody calm down.
And they kind of turn around and just like, where were you elves earlier? Why weren't you... What's going on? And they kind of like see that the party's now gathering.
We just saved this family from some giants.
And they kind of turn around and they see, and they just go, oh god, that's Barrick's wife and kids. And like the emotion kind of gets drained out of their face. And Nalistri lets go, and he's like, he just looks at them, he's like, I'm very sorry we couldn't be here to help, but you can't burn these men alive. That's ridiculous. Imprison them, take them to some sort of justice in the city, do something, but you can't do this, then you're no better than they are. And they kind of seem to calm down a little bit.
They also could know valuable information.
They kind of look down, and the women's just like, I guess you're right. If nothing else, the city should really deal with them. Maybe they can send more men, find out where they've taken some of the ones that were hostages or something.
They've taken people?
They kind of turn around and go, yes, it was a huge raid. There was 20, 30 of them in number. The first 15 just took people. Anybody that had strength to work, really, farmers, blacksmiths, anybody that they felt was useful, they took them. They had these wagons that were pulled by dogs with fire that came out of their mouths. They ran them off, and then the rest just started burning everything. The huge giant was demolishing houses. They killed anybody that tried to fight. We did everything we could to fight back, and we managed to turn the tides, but so many of us were died. So many of us were killed.
Do you know where they took them?
As you kind of say that, you get the sense that Nalistri goes very quiet and looks very nervous. And they just say, like, it must have been nearby. I don't know exactly where. These burning king's men, they've been raiding everywhere. We've heard stories, but we thought this is a large town. They wouldn't attack here. We have a militia. We have men that are trained to fight. They tore us apart. The armoured... There was nothing we could do. We literally had to rely on numbers. That's the only reason we're still standing here.
Did they take them to Melody?
I don't know where that is, but as you say that, Nalistri kind of looks over to you and he's just like, we should talk about this later, but yes, I believe they have been taken there. And they kind of look around and they kind of look to you and they're like, we don't know who you are, but should we do something? And they point to the men who are now starting to come to, and they're like, what's happened? Why am I tied up? Who's this? And they kind of like look around. And like, let us go, you fucking animals. Well, the Burning King's going to sear your flesh if you don't let us go. And stuff like that. And they start talking, but then they kind of meet your gaze. And Nalistri looks at you, and then he just clicks his fingers, and like a muzzle of ice just wraps around the one who's speaking. He just looks over and he's like, I'll deal with you later, but for now, be quiet. You've caused enough pain here. And then he just turns around and he's like, you and your friends are better at dealing with this than I. I need to think about some stuff. And he heads back towards the horses.
We will discuss this later, Nalistri.
He stops and he goes like, yes, we shall. And just carries on.
I'm going to call Trell and Camera and Juto.
Trell.
Juto, they don't seem to be... They kind of like look at Juto with awe, but there's not a sense of fear. Now that you've arrived with this group and they're clearly not attacking, they kind of just have this nervousness, but they don't immediately are like, oh my god! Ah!
That's nice.
Yeah. You can just see that it's just a really sad sight. There's just a lot of death and unfortunate tragedy that's happened here.
I'll talk to the lady on my horse and say, you may want to just go with the kids for a second and stay back.
She's like, I mean, she's at this point, like, you can just see water streaming down her eyes and stuff. She's like, yep. And
we'll find out
where. Can we ask the people before they leave if there's anywhere that's safe that they can take this family?
We hid most of the elderly and the very young. We hid in basements, the tavern, the cellar, the wine cellar. That's where most of them hid. It's been untouched. We're gonna try and use that as a staging grounds for repairs and then getting everybody together. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, so many people from the village were taken. We just don't know. We just don't know what we're going to do. And he looks and he kind of says, like, Barrick was one of the ones that was taken. He arrived just before the bandits attacked. He looked strong, fit. They snatched him up instantly.
If you could help these people just now, give them some shelter, some food.
Yeah, no, we'll do everything we can. They've been friends of ours for a long time, so we'll make sure they're looked after.
Is there anything that's still on fire, or...?
There's a few buildings which are smoking, and yeah, there's definitely not major flames, but enough that you can probably help with, like, elemental attunement and just kind of... you can always kind of suck out the oxygen with wind as well, just kind of completely quell the flames.
Like, water whip and stuff like that.
Yeah, you just... Whoosh,
can I just wander off and just help put the fires out and stuff?
You kind of do that, unless you stop them. Paler and Shalana will come with you and they try and do what they can as well. Shalana does have some druidical clerical magic and is kind of healing as she goes, or projecting, kind of using shields to like help people get people out of rubble and stuff like that as well. Paler's obviously more physical, so she's kind of helping pull people out, like lifting up timbers and things like that, and then you're kind of using your elemental powers to put everything out. And together as a group you manage to kind of really do everything you can to make sure that everyone's alright. And yeah, they basically, it looks like that the villagers are looking to you to decide what to do with these two men that they've captured as well.
Well, Trell, do the thing. Don't make astral things come.
He called us animals.
I'll put on the mask and go over to
We're the animals, yet look at what you have done to this village.
And you're not even in bear form.
Yeah, you don't want to see me when I'm in animal form.
You see this ice over his mouth, just like is preventing him from speaking. You put the mask on, and then you're gonna read the old minds. The initial thing, these men are terrified, actually. They're putting on a brave front, but being tied up and seeing that they are sitting on oil and kindling, they are terrified of being burnt alive.
Yuto, do you want to come over and just hold a flame in your hand?
Yeah, you can do. Those are their kind of
flame.
initial surface thoughts. These men are pretty weak-willed. I'm not even going to do a saving through them. As you plunge deeper into their minds, they were given strict orders by a hobgoblin commander to capture people. They're building up a peasant labour force, kind of like a slave labour force, to kind of mine ore, build them weapons, stock their food and everything like that. They're really trying to just amass power, and they need people to do shit jobs, basically. They've been taken to a place called Melody. Now, the images you get, the men have never been there, but they've kind of been told about it. They know that it's somehow protected from magic, so magic can't find them there. They also know that there is a very large hobgoblin force. Maybe 20 or more hobgoblins, which are basically patrolling the ruins. It's like an old ruined village from long ago, and these hobgoblins patrol it, and there's maybe 20 hobgoblins and a couple of ogres there as well. It's very heavily fortified and defended, so... And that's kind of all he really knows. The rest of it is the same tripe that you've got from like that berserker before. They're terrified of the Burning King, what he'll do to them. They know he's power mad. All he really cares about is burning stuff. He doesn't really care about anything else. The gold is really used just to placate these bandits so that they feel they're getting something. But mainly he just wants them to get weapons, get armor, and amass. And then get whatever they need to be an army.
I shall regale this to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if we do plan on going to Melody, we're going to need some serious reinforcements.
I think we need to talk to Nalistri about why he wants to go to Melody. Because we're not making that stop without him telling us what he knows.
He seemed aware, didn't he? That
he knew where it was. He
we'll
wanted to make
discuss
a
that
stop.
with him, but not in front of these bandits. Also, I don't think any of the Burning King's members should know that we're coming to Melody. So there's no sense keeping these bandits around.
They're like the guy's like trying to speak, but yeah, he's just like, oh god, they're gonna kill us.
As Cam
By the
says
gods,
that,
they're gonna kill us.
I just kind of light up and just a little gust of, I'm not...
Like
just
a burp.
Yeah, like a rick and, yeah.
Yeah,
Juto.
they're just like, you can see them desperately now trying to get free and run.
Juto.
They just want to get away.
Melt that gag off his face. Don't worry about overspilling or anything.
I lean very close to the guy and just... almost like a little kiss.
Yeah, it's just like, it begins melting away. You do see Nalistri's kind of off in the distance, and he just clicks his fingers and it just shatters. Don't kill us! Don't kill us!
How many did you kill?
He like looks around. He's like, I don't know. I was just told to grab stuff. If people tried to stop me, I just swung. I don't know. I don't think I killed anyone.
Don't think you did. I'll do an insight on that.
You don't even need to roll. He killed people.
Children?
He's like, no, there was just men and women that were trying to stop us getting stuff. But if I didn't, the hobgoblins would have killed me when we got back.
Sounds like you're slavers.
He looks at you. He's just like, they told us to.
I was a slave once, and they killed my mother and father.
He just goes white, super terrified.
I'm gonna hold Juto back a second and say, and look to you two as well.
Yes, these men should die. They are no better than the tyrants that they serve. They are pawns in a game of chess, where we shall take their king and queen. We must first destroy the pawns. Burn them, burn them, burn them, burn them. It's just
I must say that actually, yeah, with him and actually thinking of my family and my village that was destroyed similarly to this, I am starting to see flame.
just like,
Yeah.
I'm going to stand in front and then say to these two, it's like, there's no sense being one of them. What can we do to prevent them saying anything?
cut their tongues out.
Pretty harsh, Charlie.
Well, better than burning them alive. And then they could write it down if they're intelligent enough. Cut their hands
Elise
off.
Do you know of any arcane wizardry that you can silence them with permanently?
He
Without
looks over.
torturing them to death.
Not permanently. I can only do a few conjurations. My magic is mainly about creating things. Such a spell would be very difficult. It's more of an enchantment, which isn't my specialty. I imagine that if you're asking me my opinion, the best thing is we find a way to secure them and have somebody take them back to your human city. They can face whatever laws or judgment you have there. Let them deal with it.
My fear is leaving them with these villagers.
Uh-huh.
They'll do their own judgment.
He looks at the men and women. They look back at him. He looks at Elora. They look at Elora. I don't think so. I think they realise that they need to be better than they are. But you know this more than I. I'm still new to these lands. He looks at Elora one last time and then goes back to patting down on his equipment. At this point, you are still just hearing burn them, burn them, burn them. Don't let Buckland's going to let them free. Don't let him. You need to. He's a coward. He wants the easy way out. You just hear he wants the easy way out. He doesn't understand the suffering that you have endured. I do.
I'm agreeing with Crownrand at this point. This is too similar to my childhood.
She's like, yes.
I just lean forward, very uncomfortably
saying
close
that?
to the slaver. I'm not saying anything. You
Yeah, 'cause
can't.
this is
you
all
can't,
happening in Juto's head.
But I mean, even without Crownrand, I would be agreeing with this because this is too similar to my childhood.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to lead forward to the guy and just be like,
Please.
say something, slaver. Anything.
Please don't burn me. Please don't burn me.
Give me one reason why.
I won't do it. We'll go to the city. We'll be locked up forever. Please, just don't burn me. I've seen what he's done. I've seen what he's done to people. It's horrible. Please.
How many more people will die because of you?
No one. And he's just sobbing at this point. He's just terrified that you're going to burn him alive.
How many orphans have you created today?
I don't know.
Are you sorry for all the children?
Yes, please. Just lock us up. We'll go. We won't fight back, please. I don't want to burn alive.
Anyone wanna?
You're closest, Cam. I think at this point,
I'm just going to
Trell and
be
Cam are the closest
on
ones.
edge to
Yeah.
make sure she doesn't do anything, and if she does, I'm going to pull her away.
So you're going to kind of take that sort of if it looks like she's about to.
Yeah, I'm just going to let her.
At this point,
wear them down.
the two women and the men that you first saw them kind of step forward, and they're like, the man's like, I'll take them. We've got a wagon. I can find a horse somewhere. I'll take them to Talsval. Tell them
Good.
what they've done.
Do it quickly.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Is that what you want?
He looks at you and he's like, I'd love to see these men burn. I'd love to do it myself. But then I'd be no better than them. When he looks around all these buildings they've burned, all this life they've taken. I'm better than that. I'm better than you. And he leans down at the guy. He's like, I'm going to watch you rot in a cell where you'll be beaten and tortured by other people who are worse than you are. Because you're nothing. And he just gets up and he's like, I'll get chains. They can go in lions. And then he heads off.
Take someone else with you. And take them to Korak.
Korak, the champion.
Korak
And your
will
father
want-
kind of goes, he's like, tell him that Lady Elora has sent them. He'll understand.
He'll want to know what they've been up to.
It's like, alright, I will. I'll take, and there's an old man who kind of steps forward. He's like, I'll go with him. I'll make sure that they arrive. I can't say that they won't arrive unharmed, but they'll arrive alive. And they can face
Good
what
enough.
they've done there.
I'm gonna kind of look at everyone and look at the villager who was speaking and kind of rein it back a bit, but I'm gonna turn back to the bandit and I'm going to take Granrand out. And I'm going to
The
say,
gem is flickering with flames.
I'm going to say, you may have escaped a fiery fate today, but I leave you a mark to remember me by, and if you kill again, I will find you. And then I'm just going to scratch an X into his cheek.
And as you do, the metal claw of Crownwren heats up like a hot poker. as it burns into his flesh, the smell of searing flesh. You go to grab Juto, but you sense that she's not. You kind of see that she's not going to kill him. And she
Can't
just
really stop
finishes
crowning
this
either.
thing. Yeah, just whoosh, and then he
I'm
kind
so
of he
weak.
does. Buckland does pull your arm away, but at this point the cross is finished, and he's like, oh. And nobody else does anything. Your parents do look quite alarmed, and Shalana and Pela are kind of looking worryingly.
I'm a bit worried.
I'm gonna pull back as I say that and mutter under my breath to Juto. This may be your past, but it's not your present. Learn from it like you've told me to learn from my mistakes.
I have learnt Buckland, otherwise he would be a steaming pile of ash right now.
Good. Baby steps, and then walk away.
Good old Buckland, bringing the comedy. So at this point, it takes a few moments, but this old man and another farmer come back, and they've literally found like what look to be sort of like gates chains with like heavy locks, and they pull the men off. The men don't fight back; like they are just their eyes are almost fixated on Juto in terror as they're locked up, and they haul them onto the wagon. The old man comes back like an old donkey, basically, like an old pack mule, and they hitch that up, and they're just like, we'll take them, and they get ready to make their journey. The rest of the citizens have taken the woman and children you found at the windmill. They seem to be looking after them. And yeah, what would you guys like to do?
We need to talk to an elise tree.
Yeah, I guess we'll get back on the road and flank him and discuss.
Well, are we stopping? We need to stop somewhere to rest.
Oh, we were stopping out. We could do. Is there space for us here to rest
If you wish, yes.
temporarily?
You may have to camp in. I'd rather that you didn't sleep in people's houses. I know they're a bit ruined, but they're still people's homes.
We can camp,
Yes, you're more than welcome to camp within the walls.
and we'll protect you for the night.
Thank
If
you.
anything were to happen.
Thank you. We'll try and bring you food and water if we can. At least he just holds up his hand. He's like, you don't need to. It's fine.
All right.
And they just kind of go back. And in fact, Nalisu says, like, in fact, don't use your own supplies tonight. I have something I can help you with. And at this point, he kind of steps forward, and I just need to check the spell on how many people he can do it for. But he conjures a lot of food and water. 15 humanoids. So, at least he
conjures 15 humanoids.
of food, worth of food. No, he steps forward and he kind of channels some energy, and you can see this kind of white and blue energy swirl around his hands, and then he grips his hands, and appearing are kind of like these, not quite barrels, but kind of almost like containers of like a thick porridgey gruel, and also water skins just full of water. He says like, this should be enough. It's not the most flavorful meal, but it will keep you sustained for 24 hours and save your supplies for something else.
How did you do that?
I told you I'm a wizard, Buckland. I've studied the arcane arts. It's what I've done with my life. I specialise in this sort of magic.
You make gruel.
I don't choose to make the gruel, it's what the magic creates. I can't create a pot roast.
I'm like dipping in and like eating while I'm just staring at him.
It just like, it doesn't taste bad, but it also just doesn't taste of anything. It's just like, nourishment. You're like, it's nourishing, like you feel like, yeah, you want to eat it, but it's not flavourful.
Can you freeze it with the lemon stuff?
Technically I can, yes. And he touches it, and you can see like a sense of magic. And he's like, it's mildly spiced. That's the best I can do.
There you go. Queue up behind the Lee Street. You'll lemon up your grog.
Yes.
Whatever
yes.
it is.
Bring it
gruel.
forward. And he, one by one, he does touch all of these bowls, and the people take it and are very grateful. They're like, oh, thank you, Mostrel, thank you. And they kind of go off, and he's like, shall we make camp? And then I suspect you wish to ask me about Melody.
Yes. Yeah.
Very well. You make camp, you set up bedrolls, you pitch tents that you attach to the thing. Your father and mother kind of take a step back. They're kind of looking at how you're dealing with the situation. They don't want to interrupt in something which you are clearly dealing with. They don't want to kind of take ownership of it. It looks like your father's ego might have been a bit knocked by the battle as well. And Shalana and Pela just kind of, they still seem a bit wary of Juto actually. Like they kind of, not keeping their distance, but they also are kind of, keeping to themselves a bit more. But eventually, yeah, you kind of get ready. The night comes in, the stars and moon overhead. The clouds it's not as cloudy, it's not as overcast anymore. You can see the stars. And yeah, and Nalisu readies his pack, and he's just like, well, what do you wish to know?
I'm going to say before we start, I think maybe not all of us need to be here. Maybe just Alora. Speak to Nalistri.
Is it you saying that in character?
Yeah.
Very well, if that's what you wish.
You can tell us what he says.
The rest of them leave, I'm assuming?
I will stand up and, my friends, I will leave this town and sleep outside the borders. I cannot be around this smell of smoke and fire.
Very well. Just light a fire that we can see.
I will send a signal if I need help.
Okay.
And then Trell, are you just going to go with Buckland, basically?
I'll go with him.
Yeah? So
Yep.
you are left in an incredibly awkward silence with this young elf. The snow familiar kind of pops down. He puts it on next to like a small little stand next to his bedroll, places his book down beside it.
I'm still going to be in
Earshot.
distance.
Yeah. Do you want to keep an earshot, basically?
Yeah.
Do you want to give me a stealth check,
Why are you
actually?
go invisible?
I can't. Oh, can I?
You can.
Is that
yeah.
both of us?
Yeah.
That's what you could.
I'm not going to waste it. My stealth is 4.
Wow.
12!
So you kind of head round the corner, and Trelemar actually finds a secret spot where he can kind of peer through a window and listen in. Buckland kind of walks round the corner, and then you just see like half a green bandana and a boot sticking from around the corner. And Elistri just sighs and rolls his head, and he's like, "Your human friend isn't the most clever of folk I've encountered, but he means well, I suppose."
Not the most clever, but caring.
So, what do you wish to know about Melody, Lady Alora?
Why are you going there?
The fact that I must tell you of all people is quite humiliating.
Why me of all people?
Because you are the precious daughter of the Moonspire, and you are brilliant and perfect, and I've heard nothing but great things of you, and I'm sure you have not failed at anything. But I hired a group of militiamen from a town somewhere close to the Troubled Lands. I had hoped to hire them, give them some good gold, make sure that they had money for their families. I thought it would be an easy trip from here to Talisval, the city. I thought having extra guards would make a good impression on your father and Queen Shalana, but we were ambushed by this burning king and his men, and those militiamen were captured. I was hoping that me and Serena and Falran, my bodyguards, would be able to rescue them without you knowing. Because the last thing I want is to be another embarrassment for my father. There. That's the explanation.
You know, it's not an embarrassment to have come across this burning king and his bandits. We've come across them. Do you know what happened? Trelemar fell off of a griffin and passed out for a while. And it was not a pleasant fight. They're not pleasant people. We've seen what they're capable of.
No. But unfortunately, you are not a daughter of Salandris Frostwalker, the most demanding elven lord that has ever existed. The fact that I was beaten by what he will consider to be inferior beings is an embarrassment to my family. I should have been able to fend them off, like my brother would have been able to, for example. But that's never quite good enough. I'm very well aware that these men are ambitious and well-trained and well-supplied, and that I am but one wizard with a pair of half-decent bodyguards. However, my father will not see it that way.
So why do we have to tell your father?
And he kind of... That seems to throw him off, and he looks up, he's like, well, because you would have told him.
Why would I tell him? It's not my place.
But it would have been... But, no, of course you would have, because I would have had to have stopped, and you would have found...
We can go to Melody for other purposes. A lot of people have been taken hostage.
Why are you being nice? Why are you being nice to me? I don't understand this.
Why
I've
is
not-
it so difficult for you to understand that some people are nice?
Because I wasn't very nice to you, because you have loving family and I do not, and I've been very angry about that for a long time, and I've not been very nice to you. Why would you be nice to me back? That's not how
Because-
things are.
Well, that's not going to fix anything, is it?
I, and you can see he's now fidgeting like he's playing with his spellbook, and the owl is kind of like poking its head around, and it kind of hops towards him and kind of nuzzles against his hand. And he's just like,
You were very competent in the fight that we just had. You're not a failure, and I don't think your father has been very good at telling you how talented that you actually are.
Lady Laura, that is possibly the greatest understatement I think has ever been told in Elven history. No, my father has definitely not said anything of that ilk. I'd be lucky if he said 2 words to me, quite frankly. He's not always been very nice, and since the loss of my brother, he has become worse. That's probably something else I should tell you. Your father probably picked up on it, but the reason that my father was not able to contact you since is my brother recently died when we returned to the material plane. Things have been very difficult for him. I don't know. This is not what I expected. Why are you so nice? This isn't fair. This isn't your. Oh, and he's just like pacing now, and he kind of gets up. He's like, no, this is. You're supposed to be horrible and selfish and spoiled, and you're not. And this isn't. Oh, this is just making me feel really guilty and horrible, and I don't like this at all. Why have you done this?
The Elven Spires are supposed to help each other. What good would it do for there to be rivalry and jealousy between us?
It doesn't do any good, and that's another reason why I'm probably a failure to my father, because I don't see things that way. I get emotional, and they don't like that. You don't understand. I make jokes. Your friend Cam made jokes about being cold. I've got nothing. I am a sun. I am a blazing sun compared to them. They are emotionless. I have to hold it all in because they think like it's a disease sometimes. That's how I see it. This is a lot to think about. I'm sorry I didn't tell you about Melody.
I think you should speak to my father about it. You'll find that he is more understanding than you think.
Can you at least tell him first, and then I'll speak to him in the morning. I just need to get a grip on this. I need to understand. I need to figure this out in my head. I'm not good with people. I'm better at books and learning and spells. I'm not very good at what is happening right now, and I need to plan it. I need to think about it in my head. Can you just give him the basics, and then I'll go into it in more detail tomorrow.
Yes. I can tell him. How many men did you lose?
There was 10 of them that I hired. They were all taken. I managed to at least make sure that none of them were killed. I was going to try and go and see if I could rescue them myself, but it would be easier, I suppose, having seen you and your friends. I don't want your father and your mother and Shalana and that going. It's too risky, but your friends seem very competent, and their help would be appreciated, I think is the word. Thank you. Can you go? Just I need some time. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with it.
Okay. I'll go, but I will say that my friends will treat you better. Everyone will treat you better if you're just open with them from the start. Trying to hide things, that will cause Buckland to look at him. That will cause him to do things like sneaking and trying to overhear conversations.
Oh my.
It might help if your
Backing up.
It might help if your drow friend stops trying to invade my mind as well. It's been quite annoying having to put up defences against that.
It's a new toy. He's not used to it. He's just trying it out. I'll tell him.
He needs to be careful with that thing. That is very powerful magic that is not of this realm.
Well, we just discovered that, so...
Yes. Look, there's not really anything else. Melody was a personal embarrassment. Everything else is true. The mountain pass will be dangerous, but nothing more than travelling is at the moment. My father is in a sad state with the loss of my brother, but he is looking forward to seeing your father. He really needs that support right now, and it would be good, like you said, for the spires to work closer together. Perhaps if perhaps if he sees your father and he remembers something of what he's lost, maybe he'll gain some of his emotion back. I don't know. Thank you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to hear about your loss, and I will leave you to process your thoughts and speak to my father.
Thank you. And at this point, he just turns, opens up his book, and scratches his owl, who looks at you, woo, and just turns his head back. And then, yeah.
I'm gonna very unstealthily just creep away
Yeah.
from the spot I was in.
You kick a rock, snap a twig.
It's like, oh shit.
Curse a lot.
Yeah, and you guys head off.
What did you find
You
out?
heard everything, don't even pretend.
Yeah, what? No, I didn't. I was over. Well, yeah, I had. That was productive. He's
I
a
don't think he's
weirdo.
very good with people.
He's so cute.
He's a strange man. We should be cautious.
I trust him now that I've spoken to him about Melody. I think he's just embarrassed, honestly.
How about we be extra cautious going into Melody?
Yeah, it's a bit of a stronghold for them. So yeah, we should be.
Even with that guy, Millistry. I don't think I've sussed him out yet. And I'm usually really good.
Apparently, Trell's been
Figuring
trying to
things
prod into his mind the entire time.
Trout? Why would you do that?
He was suspicious. Would you? I've got the ability to read people's minds. Why wouldn't I try and find out what was going on?
Well, you've got a point.
It's a fair
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
Fair point.
But now we know he's just not very good at discussing what's going on.
Why are you guys having this conversation? Juto, while you've been outside,
Oh, for
on your own.
Give me a night off, mate.
Little demon, do you see now why I do not trust these royalty? They tried to impose their decisions on you, rob you of revenge.
No one tried to stop me. I stopped myself.
They guilted you with their morality.
I didn't even listen to them. I didn't even hear anything they said. Vengeance technically was not mine. It was that of the villagers.
He was weak. He made a decision. He feared he would become like them, but he would have been stronger.
The bandit will find a worse fate in the cells of the champion.
I hope so. If there is one thing that governments and kings and lords can do well, it is make people suffer in places like that. But remember, my little demon, we must be strong for each other.
We will be strong, Crownrand, and you forget. It is the Burning King that is responsible for all this enslavement.
Yes, but that does not mean his pawns should go untaken. We must make sure that in this great game, we are the ones who are winning. Then he just goes quiet. And back to you guys. Can we get a time check? Because I don't have one.
It's quarter 2.
Quarter 2?
Come out to 10.
Yeah.
10-2 now.
10-2. So, do you guys do anything else this evening? Or do you want to just get some sleeps?
I
Okay.
was just going to say,
Ooh.
I've taken my mask off.
The mask is removed.
I need to apologise for the flippancy that I have taken with my new mask. I was warned by my patron that, things could come after me if I use it too much. I just thought it was just, don't use a good thing too much. Like when your parents tell you, stop fiddling with yourself or you'll go blind, or,
I was told that all the time.
or like don't listen to show tunes or you'll turn into a pansy.
Never
I
to be told
just pull a face as if to say I've said too much, but I'm sorry particularly to you, Laura, because not only did I put us in danger, but I put your family in danger, and I apologise.
Well, we didn't know what could have happened, so how were you to know? But I am a little bit concerned that those people are going to continue to come after us. They really wanted the mask.
They did, But I'm hoping that if I use it more sparingly, perhaps we won't encounter them.
Also, you've
often.
really annoyed Nalistri.
Eva's a dickhead anyway, I don't mind.
I agree.
You really annoyed him. So
He's an annoying chap.
Something weird about him.
Yeah.
I don't trust him yet.
It's just this cold testicles.
Alora, you're too trusting. There's something wrong.
he's from an Elven Spire.
He rides on a fucking ice
That's
horse.
just really cool.
It's cool
Literally.
to look at, but there's underlying problems
I
going.
want to know how to make a horse out of
Don't
this.
get distracted. I'm here. Hello.
Ice horse.
You get the picture.
Yeah.
Let's keep our wits about us going into melody. I don't think we've seen the full picture.
Yes.
Okay.
There's more to this tune.
Very
And
good.
I go to camp with that. I'm
And
really
with that,
smart
we
about
transition to everyone sleeping. You wake the next day. Pretty much everything as you've discussed happens, like things do again. You do see Nalistri speaking to your father. Your father looks angry, but then sort of seems to calm down. Nalistri looks very apologetic and is just kind of like very meek. Looks quite embarrassed, but eventually things are smoothed over. And he comes up to you. It's just like, we'll be making our way towards Melody now. Your father is not very happy at my suggestion that he remain behind, but luckily your mother, after yesterday's encounter, did calm him somewhat, and he has agreed to watch the others whilst we head towards the town itself. The only thing I know of certain information is that it does have a large hobgoblin force there. There also may be some fall shards which may prevent my magic from being particularly effective. That's why the village was ruined long ago.
That can make all our magic ineffective,
Yes.
particularly Laura.
It might
and Trell.
It might mean that we need to take some more of a stealthy approach.
I'm good at that.
Yes, most certainly.
I wonder if that will affect my beast shape.
You don't believe so. You used your beast shape around the last one you encountered, and it was fine. It just seemed to have... What you remember from the battles is that magic seems to do things like it's not as effective, like
Yeah.
half damage, half duration, that sort of thing.
Oh, I remember that battle.
Do I remember what effect that fall shard ages ago had on me and my abilities?
It didn't actually. It didn't actually affect your Lightborn abilities, only your clerical magic.
Okay.
So anything which is Lightborn based, actually, yeah, it doesn't seem to have any effect on it. But the other magical cleric
My
stuff,
normal stuff.
your key magic wouldn't be affected by it, as you would draw it from a different space than arcane or clerical magics do.
Because I'm a monk, yeah.
Because you are a monk, it's more concentrated willpower than anything else. So your magic, your water whip and fire breath and stuff is a-okay. And
Granny.
yeah,
Granny's fine.
Ground Rent, you don't know. You've
Okay.
never taken him into
True.
the field of a full shard, so you don't actually know what that effect may have on him. However, you make your way on the trip. Now, the rest of the day goes smoothly. You leave the village and make your way across again. Kind of plains. This tends to form much more hilly terrain now. You're getting to the point where there are small valleys, little copses of trees, forests all around you, and you follow the dirt path. The least street leads the way. And eventually, one day passes, and then as you get to the middle of the second day, he leads you to a small kind of wayside ruin. It kind of looks like it was once maybe an old watchtower. And basically he turns around and tells your father, mother, and Queen Shalana and that to wait here. He also leaves his 2 bodyguards and tells them to watch the others as well. And basically says, I'll lead you to where I know Melody to be. It's just that way, and he points off to the side. It's over it's a couple of hours trip by foot, but we should leave the horses here, really. We need to approach this quietly, I think. Right. He leads you across these hills.
Before
takes
we
you
go,
through.
I want to say to my father,
Yes, do that now.
don't do anything silly. Don't try and charge in.
I won't. I've already promised your mother that I won't do such a thing. I'm here. I'm needed here. I need to look after everyone else. These he looks at the 2 frostbite. He's like, they're not up to snuff. I'll be needed in case anyone, those burning bandits or whatever they're called. I'll take care of them. And you can see he's like trying to keep very proud and regal, but he is still nursing quite
Yeah.
a bruised-looking arm.
I'm gonna go to him and just talk quietly so no one else hears. Just going, considering what just happened, I think you just needed to be a bit more careful and a bit less proud about it.
He looks down. Fine.
That's That's what you have me for now. It's fine.
He like looks down. He's just like, just make sure you're all right as well. I know that being a bear makes you feel indestructible, but you're not. And that dark elf boy, he falls down far too much. He's no good.
does.
He's no good.
Moon King Majesty.
Camulus. Here's a warrior.
I will protect your
I
noble.
took down a hell
He like looks. He's just like these two. The tiny demon child is very. I know that she'll look after her.
As tough as Alora is, if anything were to happen, we'll step in and he'll fall over in front of her. We've
Be
got
like
this.
a little
And then he
shield.
leans over to Juto and he's
On
just
the floor.
like,
Thanks.
Camulus is a bit of an idiot. Make sure he doesn't get himself killed.
I'm just mentally adding this to the list of people that other people have asked me to look after.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. Good job. Silly humans.
I gotta say to my mother as well to make sure that he doesn't come after
And
us.
she's just like, oh, he's not going anywhere. If I have to, I'll entangle him with spells. If I have to keep him here.
That's one way to do it.
But be careful. Just watch yourself.
Say to the bodyguards, better take care of them.
They just turn around and they're just like, Lady Laura, we will do our absolute best. And I can assure you that we will give our lives to protect these people. Please look after Master Nelly Street. He is difficult sometimes, but he means well.
We shall try.
Yes. And on that, you are led away. You take a small trip. It does take you a few hours, and you make your way through a small wood, like a woodland trail. And as you get to the edges of it, Nelly Street kind of holds up. He's like, Melody is just beyond here. It's mainly ruined now. There's a small wooden palisade wall, but most of it's ruined. I don't really know what to expect beyond that.
we can send Granomir, potentially.
I can also send Whisper, my owl. I can see through his eyes the same way that your friend can. So.
Just get some initial scouting. See patrols.
Very good.
Are we about to go in?
We are about to finish the session. The only thing I was going to describe to you is, as you do that, as Granomir and Whisper, the snow owl, fly off, you get images, and at the same time, between the two of you, Nalistri and Trelamar are basically reciting what they see, so you can kind of get a verbal picture. The town itself has a rough wooden palisade wall, several of it collapsed in places, which provide entrances and exits. Most of the buildings, some of them are intact, some of them have been just like dilapidated from misuse. But it looks like that there were once two main buildings, a large tavern and a large temple, both which had some stone construction. The rest all look wooden, that's kind of rotted and is like dilapidated now. The two large buildings have been completely collapsed, and you can see sticking out from them two long, thin, dull, grey crystal shards that come out all the way out the top of the roofs, and they've just almost like spears speared through the building itself. And as you watch, you can see there are groups of about 5 hobgoblins plus what looks to be some sort of commander with each group. There is at least 3 patrols that move through the different streets and around the outskirts. And at the same time, in the very centre square, chained to wooden stakes with chains, there's about 20 people that have all been gathered together. They've all been chained up, and there's 5 more hobgoblins with them. And then there are 2 ogres in a stable next to the prisoner area. The 2 ogres seem to be like fighting over a horse and like eating parts of it. But these patrols are constantly moving around. It looks like there is also one group of 5 that sleeps in some sort of ramshackle house. And then as one patrol takes a rest, the others swap out. So there's almost a constant patrolling system going on. They look very organised and very, very well trained. All of the hobgoblins, the ones who are on patrol, wear half-plate armour, tower shields, and then have short stabbing swords that they seem to be able to lock together on command. Very, very well-trained looking troops. All seem to be following the orders of one very nasty looking hobgoblin in the centre who wears an eye patch on one eye, and you can see he has one of his arms was cut off, but instead a large metal spear-like shape has been kind of forged onto it instead, and he has a small buckler on the other shield, and he seems to be giving all of the orders basically. And that is what you see from your reconnaissance scouting. But with that, we will end today's session and pick this up next week.
Damn.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
Well, we tried.
So there we go. So thank you very much for joining us on this
Thank you.
episode of High Rollers.
Thank you.
We're going to read some donations.
Shall.
Donations. I hope you enjoyed that session. It was a little bit of mix, a little bit of combating, a bit of RPO.
RP.
You're all
nice.
bastards.
Nice to find out a little bit more about Nalithri
Yeah.
and his secrets.
And then bit of I always enjoy a bit of mind fucking with Juto and Crown Ren. That's always fun. Yeah.
Give it a rest, mate.
Twist this thing.
Sounds good. Right. You're gonna have to twist that round. Oh no. Kim,
What?
you need to do the monitor.
I was going to do it, but then he stood up, and I
tried
Drop be patient.
I don't want to.
I don't want to. I want cake now.
Oh god.
Come on, Kim.
Got it.
You got it.
You got to lift up a bit.
No, we're gonna have to deal with it like that, I think.
It's because it's on the. Oh, this studio is stupid.
That's fine. We can deal with it.
Okay, we got it.
Right, should we start? Kim, Trot, me, Katie, Matt. Classic.
This is.
The classic line.
Let's run through some donations.
Leaf Meeg. I can't watch another HighRollers today because some kind of mother just had to invite me to a gosh diddly darn opera.
Oh.
Have fun.
Wow.
Enjoy
Oh
that.
wow. What opera though? Or we're quite big. You're an operetta man as well, aren't you?
I am an operator man, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen performances. I've seen you sing.
I've
brothers
seen
also.
Oh yeah, you've seen. Oh, my brother is a proper opera buff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
Operaman.
the expert.
Nightjar says, another Sunday, another shitty Wi-Fi-less train journey complete with cackling hen party and no heating. At least I've got the VOD to look forward to on Halloween.
Yay.
Hashtag roll on Sunday, hashtag train on Sunday.
Oh man, hen parties on trains. is absolutely awful.
And stags.
So they're donating.
And in airports, by the way, because then when they see them in the airport, you go, please not my flight, please not
Please not my fight.
And
Always
it
your
is.
flight.
on your
It's
flight,
always your
yeah.
Two
flight.
seats behind you.
Let's
Yeah.
power
Power
through.
through these. Right,
that
Ron
one's-
Rapara.
Don't read out
Don't
loud.
read out loud.
Thank you very much.
donation.
Well, thank you very much for the donation. Hope things
Sending hugs.
are cool. Yep, sending hugs.
Yeah.
Melee donated as well. Just wanted to say thank you to Matt for his great job on the ending for Kim's Ushi. Haven't laughed that much in a while. Keep up the good work. Good job,
Yeah.
editor.
Oh yeah, what was the end? Oh, I'll have to see, won't I?
Yeah. Yeah, that one outside. Yeah.
Chaplain Kevin donated, happy early Halloween. Great to see you guys back again. Love the outfits. Stay sexy, y'all. Thanks.
Thanks.
Mr. Carmine's, a group of friends started a game where all four of them were bards. You could
Yeah,
say
okay.
that. Oh, damn! The bloody
We
screen
just
went
lost the
off.
screen. We have no screen.
Oh no! Wait, it's back. You could say that they were a barbershop quartet.
Amazing. Hello.
Rom Rapara. This is for the poor sound engineer's costume, you monsters.
Lol.
No, he's dressed as Shin.
Yeah, he's dressed
Hey.
as Shin.
Stress
Yeah.
is shin.
Lol. Junior Kenny 2408. Quick question to Trell. Would you consider your relationship with Cam to be a sort of bromance?
Yeah.
If so, why do you think this developed? Would it be influenced by experiences Trell had while growing up or something else? Feel free not to answer.
Is it romance?
Have we got a bromance, Trell and Cam?
I think you guys have slowly started
Yeah.
developing one because like
Definitely
there's all this
today.
serious stuff going, and then you two will be the ones to like
Yeah.
singers.
We wouldn't ever admit to it.
No.
But I think
No.
it's like a...
Even
Yeah,
though you
that's fair.
spent a great deal of today floating together in each other's
Still wouldn't admit it.
Superman and Lois style.
Too macho for that.
Yeah.
I think Trail would definitely not admit it.
Yeah.
But
Cam would be, yeah. Try and embarrass Trell as much as possible.
Olaram.
oh, it's you.
Oh, is it?
No, it's me.
Yes.
It's Trot.
It's you.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Ola Renve, excuse me, thank you for inspiring so many of us. I was DMing our first adventure this week. Excuse me, I'm doing a Rick at the minute. Maury. Our rogue stupidly died 3 times. Love it.
Wow.
P.S. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Thanks, Morty.
Halloween. Tunarth donated. Can't stay for the whole stream today since the US hasn't gone off daylight savings time yet.
Oh, yeah.
But here's another small token of my appreciation for all that you do. Watching your game is always a highlight of my weekend. Keep on with the great story.
Thank you very much, Tanar. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you for staying up late too.
Bam goes TNT. For those who can't donate but want to, your costumes are so awesome, and as always, we love HighRollers.
Thank you very much, Bam. That's really appreciated.
Thank you.
Uh,
Every
I-
week.
Ooh, yeah. Ice Kid 465. Good morning. Got up at 2 a.m. to watch this.
God.
One question: have you thought of putting this into a podcast? Would love to download and listen to this while taking my dog for a run and carrying chairs up and downstairs for 2 hours. or am I 30 episodes too late? You can actually. There is a plugin for
There's
YouTube where
not only
you
a
can.
plug-in, but like me and Sam and Steve have had this conversation many times. It's just Sam never has the time
Yeah.
to go back and
Yeah.
pull the audio off the earlier
You
episodes.
don't want to promise then,
It's
like,
a job that
podcasting
needs some
everything.
time
No.
to complete.
It's,
Like-
I'd love to do it because I do see the benefit of it, but
Yeah.
it's just time.
In the
as
meantime,
always.
just check out like YouTube to MP3. You can
Yeah.
actually convert it from the YouTube page into an MP3.
Yeah.
And you just
It's
say-
a bit dodgy. I didn't say that, but you know.
Just go through the playlist.
I'd love to have an official podcast though with like a little
Yeah.
intro and that'd be fun.
Cool.
Bastek. Amazing costumes. Hope you had a good Halloween. And I'm sorry, Matt, but my Deadpool costume is better. Winky
He
face.
had
I've
the
got
face
great
makeup
boobs, though.
last night, though.
You do have
Not
great
a-
boobs.
yeah,
Here's
Your
some
face
behind,
makeup was
yeah.
Really?
horrifying, but
It was
great.
That was thanks to Kat.
Yeah,
Here's
Kat did a
some
fucking good job.
behind the scenes facts. So that is actually the Deadpool outfit I
Yeah.
wore in the Flux Buddies episode.
There you go.
Fits Matt as well.
Yeah.
It's done the rounds.
It's done around. I
Oh, it
didn't
was
wash
very big on
it.
you, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was huge.
Didn't wash it. I did one, so it's you.
Trot.
Really? I did Bastek. Didn't I?
Then it's me. Junior Kenny donated again. The face when the stream starts at 3 a.m. instead of 2 because of daylight savings.
Ow.
If I was in Sydney a bit south, it would have been fine. Also, more for the audience, I've started doing 3 timestamps on the VODs so that people can choose what to look out for. Thank you very much, Junior Kenny. Thank you very much.
Is that per?
Here.
Pierre 375.
Pure 375. Great big bushy beard.
Great
Also,
big bushy beard.
also A+ to all costumes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jiminy Cricket.
Aw.
Hey guys, first time donating, been watching since the start. Just wanted to say thanks for all the great entertainment. You guys got me into D&D, and so cheers for that too. Hashtag grow the cult.
A cult. I love the idea that we're a cult.
Yeah.
Wow, there
That's
you go.
great.
Thank you.
Gothic Kitty 1313. Good
Aw.
evening to you all. It's so wonderful to have the full gang back, and you all look so frickin' amazing. Great job on the Jessie wig, Katie, and Holtzman really suits you, Kim. Cannot wait for this episode. So much mystery. Have a wonderful week.
You got very
Thank you.
Russian at the end.
Very good job on the wig, definitely.
Yeah,
that
the
was
wig,
the best way
wig
to do it.
work
Yeah.
on both the wigs.
Yeah.
Just had
Yeah.
a fringe
Yeah.
right down the front.
Yeah,
Nuts.
jeez.
Nuts.
Absolutely nuts.
Sir Tire Knight. Hey, HighRollers and Trout.
Yeah.
Why not part of
You're not even
HighRollers?
part of it, mate. Man.
Love the
Sucks.
stream and all the happiness and drama you guys bring. Running my own campaign in space. Any ideas for monsters or encounters? Aliens.
Yep.
Had one where they scavenging a ship and they fought other scavvers on a witless
Weightless.
Weightless, I
ship.
guess.
I'll read it how it is.
I know, but I'm guessing it was weightless.
Yeah, weightless.
I did that in our Star Wars game, didn't I? You guys heard of like a creepy ship. Oh no, so in the Star Wars game for Trot and Smithy and those guys, you boarded like a derelict cruiser trying to raid it.
Yeah.
And then they found out there was a sleeping mad Jedi in cryogenic stasis that then chased them throughout the ship
That
and
was
tried to...
I remember
Creepy and
that.
scary.
It was
Wow.
fucking great because it
You
was
just
like
went,
I think I locked you. I locked Smith and the NPC character in like a room with him, and the Mad Jedi was just like, just cut a hole in the side of the ship and tried to suck them out into
Oh
space.
my God.
That's cool.
It was the classic.
I'd love
like,
to do a Star Wars campaign. That'd be
Yeah.
Oh man, well, we can do that off camera.
He did all the things.
Great.
He had like dark lights that flickered and then scuttling like
Oh, because
androids
it had like little
spiders.
robots. Yeah, you had the little kind
Did
of
all
they
that.
were repair
Yeah.
bots, but they've
Yeah.
like obviously gone mad as well.
No.
Good.
Can you do a horror
that.
one for me?
Yeah.
Go, Mark.
Nath Dog with a half hundo. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I've spent the last year couch surfing trying to get a job, and I finally got myself a management position and an apartment. So thank you for keeping me sane. Hey man, I have been there. I've done the exact same thing. Congratulations and thank you so much for the
You
donation.
did it.
You did it, bro.
Lenu Desu, hey guys, loving the costumes. Been watching with my brother on YouTube. First time watching live. Going to be playing D&D myself tomorrow with my family and as a nerdy half-drow warlock.
Nice.
Fun, fun, fun. Any advice for RPing?
Do what you're comfortable with. You
Yeah.
don't have to do a voice. You don't have to do crazy stuff. You can just talk in the third person and say, my character does that, my character does this.
Sometimes it takes a while for you to feel out
settle
your
in.
character as well. So
Mhm.
don't be worried if the first session you're like, I don't really know what to do.
Yeah,
You'll
don't
get
expect to know
there.
everything either.
I think coming up with like 3 mannerisms, like that always helps me. Like, oh, they have a nervous tick, or they have like a thing that they say, or something like that. It just helps you get in the frame of mind. Like,
Yeah.
I've always had I always used to do a thing with some of my characters. They would have a catchphrase, or they would have like a certain like, buy Bahamut or something like that, and you just say
Yeah,
that
use
instead,
that as a
and it kind of triggers
catalyst.
you into do it. Yeah. So there you go. There's a couple of tips.
Boom.
Ashheart5000. I somehow managed to find a lonely DM in my small town, and we started a solo Pathfinders campaign.
Cool.
Made a character that is a catfolk witch with a red panda familiar.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for everything you do. Because of this, I might have made a new friend.
Awesome.
Aw.
That's what it's all about. That's what D&D's about, man.
Fluthgo Pew Pew has donated with no message. Thank you very much. And
Bumblebee Tuna!
best stream. I love this story. I paint my 30k iron hands while I watch you lovely people. It's almost like an audiobook. Thanks again, you beautiful people. Also, love your costumes.
Thank
very much,
you.
man.
Angelus Lucis has donated. Thank you very much. And Abak Manor has donated, saying, gave an 8-minute speech on D&D in my public speaking class this week. Used you guys for a lot of my examples.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you so much for getting me into D&D. Have a happy Halloween, everyone.
I hope
Thank
you
you.
did well in the class.
Happy Halloween.
Sounds like you did.
Kaiman rules.
Clemo rules.
Kaiman rules.
Clemo.
Whatever. Clemo rules. Sure. I can't read. Hey Mark, you have any advice for a beginner DM? That's a big question. What I would say is go and watch Matt Mercer's tips on GMing, which you can
Nice.
find on YouTube, because it's way more information than I can condense into a single answer now. So
Play-
yeah,
I
Matt
think he's
Mercer
recently
GM
started
tips.
doing it again.
Play the
Yeah,
Minds
it's
of
like start doing
Fandelver
more.
starter pack.
Starter pack
D&D.
is really good. Lost Minds of Fandelver is a great campaign. Don't plan too much.
No,
Just go with the flow. Let the players have fun.
Get the book and start.
Yep.
That's it.
Boom.
Igner donated. Hello and happy 2 days before No Shave November. Quick question: how many ideas for encounters come from existing material like television shows and movies?
Loads of them. Like, if I see a cool scene in a movie, I am instantly thinking like, how would you do that in D&D? That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing a whole game with Trot, which is based on Mission Impossible, the new Mission Impossible movie. It's like it's gonna be like all based on that sort of thing.
In
A lot of the
Eberron.
encounters and stuff. Sometimes it's just like I'll see a cool monster and be like, that'd be fun. How can I make it more interesting? But yeah, movies and stuff are a great source of information.
Bad artists steal, great artists copy.
Yeah.
Or
Sure.
the other way around.
No, we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
Bradicus, hello guys. I finally caught up with HighRollers, and this is the first time I watch it live. Love you guys.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Brandis.
Thank you.
Zri Gaming, D&D Storytime. I DM the adventure Storm King's Thunder, and last week we had a little Halloween quest that I custom made. Funny enough, that was the first time the group went, "That was awesome!" Makes a new DM very proud.
Custom stuff, man. I always think custom stuff is way better.
For sure. And you
For
know
sure.
it better. Sky Silverwing. Stupid daylight savings time. It complicates things and means I won't get to see the last half of this session. Such is the way for a working college student. I hope these computer certifications are worth the effort. Catch you all in the bod.
Enjoy that pod.
It'll be worth it. Don't worry.
Kylo Fireshard, is that? If I can read it.
Kilo 5.
Kilo Fireshard. Can't watch because I'm at work. Take my money and a sub. I hope the session went well. Thank you very much. It did go well, and thank you for your money and sub.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Emmatron 3000, loving the streams today. HighRollers is definitely a highlight of my week. Don't know if the group have a team name yet, but surely the Firefighters would work.
That's pretty funny.
Fire starters.
Fire starters.
Fire
yeah.
starters
No, you guys
is
don't
more
have a team name
appropriate.
yet, do you?
We
actually?
don't.
It's not kind of organically happened
No,
yet.
you don't really
I
have.
don't
one.
feel like
don't
I
wanna
need
force
to
it.
force. I don't want to force
But you're
it.
working on the uniform. For
Oh
Corey.
yeah.
That's true.
You need to come up with a name.
It's true.
Oh yeah,
Corey
yeah,
said he'd
yeah.
have a
Like
uniform.
Corey told Cam he could come up with a uniform for the.
I went a bit
like a
superhero-y
special
with
forces
it.
uniform.
I was like, I had loads of ideas, and Korak was just kind of entertaining me
Yeah.
with it.
Dibs, Captain Marvel.
I can't copy.
Guyver 3X.
Very generous donation, thank you.
Thank you.
First
very
ever
much.
donation. Love
Oh,
the
wow,
streams. Got us all into D&D aged 30.
Hey.
Mark, I've been reading the second edition player's book. I tweeted you
Oh, yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah.
The art is great.
The art
Love
is-
all
Oh
you
man,
guys.
the art in those old books is so funny as well.
Class.
Like
Yeah.
some of it's so derpy looking. It's just like this is great.
But also like super detailed as well.
Yeah. Steve, old.
Be second edition.
Steve's just like second edition, yay!
Go.
Kimo.
I was just looking at someone suggesting that our team name was The Bastards.
That works as well.
Yeah, the bastards.
That'd be good. We walk into town.
Bandai
with the bastards.
Nenzai. Hey, HighRollers. Hope you're all having a great spooky session. Can't watch live as I'm visiting my family on a break from uni. So here's some extra dollars. I hope this session has been amazing. Hashtag Roll on Sunday. P.S. Your costumes are all amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shantical says, amazing cosplay, guys. You all look magnificent. My D&D group met up this week, IRL, minus the Aussie and Kiwi. It was brilliant, so I can have a shout out to Misha and Han, who couldn't make it because plane tickets are apparently expensive or something.
Yeah,
Aw.
Australia, man. Cray.
It's cool that you met up. That's cool.
I Be Mad, one donated, donating for Mummy Laura and Daddy Laura, who are clearly the best parents ever.
Best parents ever.
Best parents ever.
They are.
Sound pretty good.
Bam goes TNT again. Let's not forget the behind-the-scenes hero here, Steve. He's our mostly invisible but amazing sound and tech man. He is to be revered, loved, and given a sheep.
Because he's Welsh.
Ah.
That's the donator as well. Like, you can't say anything,
Sweet
Steve.
God.
He said, "Just kidding. Love you, Steve. You're amazing. All of you are amazing."
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Bam.
Thank you.
Rooney Violet, honestly, Waycam Hill Trail so casually just sends up HighRollers and group's relationship with each other. Having to drive to Bristol tomorrow from Taunton. Ugh, only driven in Bristol once before. Not a fan. Can I request no tips and Yogs van on the road?
God, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no.
you should be alright tomorrow. You should be okay. I think it's being
Tomorrow's
painted
safe.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's being painted and prepped.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Are you
Put a
painting
wheel
it really
lock on it.
cool?
It's the Yog van. Of course, it's going to be cool. So who is it? Me? No, Kim.
Kim.
Metamanu.
Manu.
Metamanu, mate. Happy Halloween and nice costumes, everyone. Happy to see the full crew back. Will you go back to the other room at some point? Keep it up, guys. Love you.
Yes.
Yeah. The other room is
Eventually.
being worked on,
It's been
It's being made beautiful.
It's
Yes.
being prepped
being prepped for
Should
our
be.
for
ride.
our arrival.
should be better.
Yeah, should
Yeah.
be way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. We're really looking forward to it. We don't know when it's going to be. Hopefully before Christmas live stream start. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Isha Wood Sky Spear. Dropping a donation now, just in case I missed the second half. Holy crap, that fight was pure chaos. I hope Trell gets a stern lecture for overusing his mask.
It's not even overusing it. It is literally a
It's-
time limit thing. Like he
yeah.
can use it as much as he wants, but when he wears it for multiple hours, it's just like a
Should
random
take a
roll
break.
stuff.
Yeah.
He fessed up and apologised, it's fine.
I did, yeah.
It made
I was
some
the bigger
things
person.
interesting.
You were.
He was.
Than the mask.
He did.
Derpledor. Ah, Derpledor! There's something I need to tell you. Look into my memories. Sometimes feels like anything older than 30 years old and taller than a goblin is evil and secretly plotting for world domination in D&D. Maybe. I won't answer that question.
You'll have to find out.
Clarota's wife. Hi, rollers. Sad about MCM, but to be honest, so glad we're getting more of the main story. I can't get enough of the not Iraq. Shout out to chat for
Iraq.
enriching the experience with all the cam Trell, the shipping of Trell with his nemesis of the week.
You do seem to at the minute, like, it's just unfortunate rolling,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Like, you know, fucking can't hit Juto for beans.
Yeah.
You rock.
I
Yeah.
like fire.
God damn.
Well,
It says
be fair-
hashtag Res Jim and Ted as well.
Rest Jim and Ted.
That's really bad about
Jim and
me.
Ted.
Sorry.
Excellent
You butchered it.
adventure.
Yeah,
He was
crazy.
crying and running.
Yeah, that's really
I
sad.
wanted to go back to
But-
the Burning King and be like, they're
I mean,
over there.
someone's already done that to us. Because
Yeah.
that one guy did get away last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Bush did. I'm not
yeah,
going to
that's
say the
it.
rest.
Yeah. It's a bit
Not-
off colour.
Well, it's. Yeah.
yeah.
Who is it? Is it you?
It's me, yeah.
It's you.
What?
Hey guys, great to be back watching you live after 5 weeks of work. Was wondering if you had any suggestions for where to get custom character art. Can't hire professional artists as I'm a student. Thanks as always for providing quality entertainment.
If it's just for your own local games, just like, if you're not publishing it or doing anything online, like, there's loads of stuff, like Pinterest. I use Pinterest quite a lot for stuff, like, just get ideas.
Also, if you do want to commission artists, go into the HighRollers, go into Roll on Sunday, you'll find a lot of talented artists on Tumblr.
But if you want something custom, you have to pay for it,
You
man.
do
Like,
have to
these
pay for
people
it.
have, like, you know, they that's only fair. But if you just want to use, like, cool fantasy art, there's loads of it out there, like, and you can use that as a basis.
But if not, some of our lovely fan artists.
Someone put in chat, Bush did Lightfall.
Illuminati.
That's
He
more
did.
in canon.
That's it. There's a
Illuminati.
cultist out there called Bush.
Thank you, Bowhouse.
Snat Angel 4017. Missed the start, so I'll watch fully on VOD, but I wanted to say that you all look super awesome in costume, especially Kim. Gillian Holtzman would be proud. I hope she would.
She would. She'd probably, like, lick your face in a weird way.
Oh, I would love every
I
second
bet you
of
would.
it.
Trot.
Thank you very much to Harass Civil
Thank you
Servant
very
for your
much.
Oh, wow.
very
Thank
generous
you so much.
donation.
Oh,
I've
thank
missed
you.
the past couple of weeks, so here's a bit extra to make up for it.
Oh,
Plus, the
thank
fan
you.
art and costumes this week were amazing.
Yeah, fan art was super good.
Thank you
guys
for all the
that
fan
share,
art.
and thank
I've
you for
watched
doing
the
it.
video like 4 times now, I think.
Super good. What was this? Jonah Mange. Shame about MCM mess and all that, but a great session anyway. Yeah, really sorry. I am super glad I got to see some of you
Yeah.
on Saturday though. It's really awesome to meet you in the bar.
Um,
I got to do it in a bar as well. That was way
Excellent. It's the best.
Broseph Stachin donated with no message.
thanks,
Thank
Broseph.
you.
Holy shit.
And Ian TV.
Over
happy-
a hundo!
Over a hundo. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Happy Halloween from Vermont. Love the costumes. Imagine the crazy crossover potential. Granomir versus Mewtwo and Slimer, maybe. My
Oh my
highest
God.
praise of your talents, dedication, and creativity in this stream, as well as all your work outside Iraq. Best wishes. Thank you so
very
Thank
much.
you.
Ian, that's super lovely.
That was a nice message.
Lovely message.
Silenced Hands. Glad I could catch HighRollers today, although that's only because my own game got cancelled. Anyway, as for killing those hobgoblins, dig a big pit, conceal it with fog, lure the lure the hobgoblins into it, and push a dumpster onto them. Worked in my game.
Well,
Wow.
have to
That
find a
is a way
dumpster in
to
a
do
rack.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe a big rock.
Big rock.
Like the
Or
one
the
that got
corpse of
thrown
Ted
in.
or Jim.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
It'd be so
Just the lower
manky by
half
then.
of
Yeah.
Jim.
Not
Kim-
your. Made it home in one piece. The hen party did not shut up the entire time.
Oh man.
But now I have high rollers well to soothe my soul. Also, you all look awesome, but Katie's wig is epic, and Kim looks fetch.
As fuck.
Love
It's in the
her.
message.
I am so fetch right
Fetch.
now.
Thought
Totty.
Dusk. Small donation, first time watching live in a long time since I started work. Got one of the interns I was put in charge of into this show.
Oh
Nice.
wow. Love
That's
it.
what I'm supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love you guys. Really thinking of getting back into DMing. You should.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it
now.
now.
good for-
Come on.
it's good for the
Do
brain.
it. Do it now.
You should probably do it. And Mark gets the cheeky.
Yay!
Yay!
Go on, full voice acting.
Do it
Oh, hang
in Thara's Dun.
I'll do it again
He's
now.
putting
I'll do it as
Oh my
Gandalf.
god.
Without the wig, because I can't find that now.
This is gonna be weird.
Hello! This week's boner rating, Flame of Balloon. This is literally becoming a song of ice and fire. Raging hard on moment, Frodo. Don't fight, I'll happily be bottom, or both. Cam and Troll, erection rejection moment. Helistri, Prince of Icy Blue Balls and Awkward Boners. Hashtag Bone on Sunday. It's quite cool. That is like
Nice.
all hair in my mouth.
Oh boy.
Good
Draco Zandros donated. Managed to watch live for the first time. Have some money.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
Thank you.
Adam Tad.
Brain melt.
Adamantad sounds like a He-Man character.
It does. Adam Tad, hey, I just wanted to thank you all for getting me into D&D. I'm currently running LMP and having a blast.
Lost Minds of Fandelver.
Lost Minds of Fandelver. Technically, that should be LMOP.
Well, you don't usually have to do the conjunction.
Bradicus says, I've started playing D&D because of you, and I have a glorious idea for my own campaign. Is there a way to contact you, Mark, so I can send you the general idea without spoiling it for my friends that might read it on public forums?
You can, but I can't promise I'm going to be able to have time to read it, unfortunately. The best thing to do is probably send it to community@yogscast.com, but I have not had a chance to go through a lot of that stuff in a while, so I can't promise when I get back to it. Sorry.
Hannah! Wait, is it me?
Yeah.
Not really into that. Hannah46, thank you for your very generous donation. Have some money. No question today, as I always seem to ask questions where the answer is a spoiler. Also, amazing costumes.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you do always want, well, people just want to know more, that's it. And then Lenudes, technically, was expecting a more spooky episode. Yeah, I didn't really have time to do like a proper Halloween episode. I just wanted to carry on the story.
Yeah.
But loved it anyway. That elfie prince, very tsundere, so socially awkward. Heart. He's pretty
Very.
tsundere, actually.
What is Sunday?
That's like when you're like, I don't like you, but they really do.
Ah.
It's kind of like, passive
I thought it was like a
romance.
race of elves.
It could be.
It's very Sundari.
very, very tsundere. The Sindorai.
And Jintax15. Hi Kim.
Hoi.
Thank you.
Quiet. Thank you.
Oi. And that is the last one for this evening. Thank you very much for joining us for another
Thank
wonderful
you.
High Rollers. We had fun. I hope you had fun too. There's loads more stuff coming soon. We'll be back next week.
We will.
Happy Halloween!
Happy
Yeah, it wasn't
Halloween!
particularly spooky, but happy Halloween! We'll be back next week, and we'll see you then.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dogs, tell your cats
I like it.
that we're here next
That was
Sunday.
almost a jingle as well there, like,
Really?
you always had like a bit of a rhythm,
Yeah, it was
like
a bit of a
melody
rhythm.
going. I like
Cool.
it. Anyway, catch you guys later, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.